All right, what's up, guys? Not with the big entrance, as we don't do that when it's on my channel. It is reserved for Ian 187 only.
What's up, guys? Yes, this is the anticlimactic intro.
Oh fuck! I'm getting the big entrance. I forgot to mute my fucking YouTube side.
Yeah, good job. Good job, Lee.
Oh wait, that was me too. Go ahead.
There's B-Rad. What's up, man?
What's up, guys?
Oh, B-Rad.
What's up, Brad?
Well, just coming to start trouble.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Of course, it's been a little bit.
Yeah, everybody's had major life changes, man.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat there, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. Oh man. Well, good. I'm glad you were able to host, Josh. I didn't know. Neil just said he got caught up in some stuff. He said he would not be able to start anywhere near on time. So thanks for hosting.
I like that. It just always seems like the weeks I'm on, like I'll miss the previous week. Then it's like, oh, I guess I'll host this week, and I feel like a dick. But I'm like, I really was planning on being on tonight. Like, but hey.
Man, I cannot wait to watch your hair scramble video. I've got it on my watch later, and I want to make sure I don't have anything else going on. I tried to watch it at work today, but it was just kind of a Monday. Yeah. I could not watch it at work. But anyway, yeah, everybody's talking very highly of it, even in the side chat right now.
It was a long one, but it was as long as it needed to be.
Good. I noticed it. I saw where on Facebook, or it might have been Facebook or Instagram, you said you accomplished your 3 goals. You didn't come in last, you didn't not finish, and you didn't get in anybody's way and cause a wreck.
Yeah. I got one dude's way. Like and it was sort of his fault too. I was like coming up through an obstacle area, and I could hear the dude behind me like gunning to pass. So it's like, so I slowed down. Like I was like, I'm gonna take this line and go in between these 2 trees where there's only room for 1 bike. There's several other lines around there as well. And so like I went to slow down between those 2 trees to like so he could go around me for the pass. And I stalled it, so I stopped, and the dude like immediately rear-ended me.
Oh,
but I was like, but he didn't even fall over. I was like, whatever, shit happens, you know.
Yeah, it's racing. Yeah, that was super fucking awesome to watch, man. I was pumped like that whole thing. Like, I did not miss a second of that video.
Thanks, man.
I was so stoked on that,
dude. I'll tell you. So that's the first race I've been to, and I'm not saying anything. Like, I get it that it's so editing a race is hard, especially if you don't talk. Like, I had to force myself to talk, and as several people noted, including the guy Tyler, who's been sort of like really been holding my hand out there and been really cool. He actually came out and rode with me today too, and was giving me a bunch of pointers. He just goes like, you probably have a lot easier time if you didn't say anything. But I mean, it's still creating content too, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that was cool that you're able to do that. Like focus on trying to make it a story and fucking race at the same time.
Yeah,
like that's awesome.
And I'm sure I could have been more competitive if I didn't talk at all. But I also just being realistic with myself. Like, it's my first race. I'm not going to come in first, so I might as well try to make it interesting. Like, and I get like I've watched so many people's videos where they just dump this race footage. And it's like an hour and a half. I'm not saying anything bad about that. Like, I've watched a lot of those, and in fact, I play them at the bar all the time. But holy crap, man! There's so much more going on there. Like it's a giant fucking party. There's people just rip roaring party, drinking beers, fires everywhere, barbecues. Like, it was fucking crazy. It was like being at a NASCAR event or like being in a tailgate party or something like that. Like, everybody's fucking there having fun. And I look at some of these people who just like drop off an hour and a half long race video. I'm just like, would you film anything else? This place is awesome.
Yeah, a buddy of mine just did that. He did a mountain bike race in south of Dallas somewhere. And he wanted to get my opinion on, some editing stuff because he wasn't real familiar with it. Oh, music was the main thing he wanted. He was like, yeah, I'm just going to take the whole thing and try to edit it down to maybe like 45 minutes. And I'm like, dude, do you realize how mother effing boring that's going to be? Dude, you gotta. But I was like, yeah, I'll send you some music. Don't worry about it.
What's funny, and this happens when I ride, when I'm just practicing as well. But since I only include the parts where I talk, literally all I include is my worst riding. Because the part, not saying that any of it other stuff was that much better, but like the parts where I'm focused, obviously I didn't talk the whole time. There's like I put in 20 minutes of race footage. Pretty much the entire time I talked was like 20 minutes out of the. I was on the course for like 2 hours and 20 minutes or something like that.
Wow.
And I only included the part that I talked. Almost all of it. I think I only ended up cutting like 4 or 5 minutes of actual me talking, just because I was rambling on about nothing because I was delirious. And it was my worst writing because I was concentrating on talking too. But just after when I put that other stuff in there, all the writing footage, it just seems kind of like boring because it's not that good. And it's like nobody wants to watch somebody like half-ass it. If it was like really impressive, I'd put it in there. But I'm like,
I was most pumped on like it was like getting to relive that first race experience because I'll never get to do that again. I haven't been able to get that since I was like 10 years old.
It was fucking
terrifying. So watching that was like, fuck yeah.
I was so fucking scared, man. Like, I was like, I have to piss. Like, I pissed like 3 times before I got out there. And I was like, I gotta piss. What the fuck's wrong with me? I was just like,
that's a nervous piss, man. I do that before I'm going to play like a really big show. Like this one time, I opened for, and I don't know what my problem was that night. We opened for Travis Tritt at this big performing arts center, and there's like 5,000 people in the audience, and I kept going to the bathroom, and I was like, dude, I gotta go one more time. And then you go and it's just like 3 drops of pee. It's just your bladder being nervous because it knows you're about to do something massive.
Dude, yeah. More than one occasion been on the fucking starting gate of a pro national race and the 30-second board's up and I like jump off my bike quick and take a fucking piss right behind my bike and then jump back on for the 5-second board and drop the gate and go. I've done that multiple times.
Oh man. Once I was going, it wasn't so bad. Like, it wasn't that bad. Just because at that point, there's nothing you can do about it. It's just fucking go. You know, it was like the couple of times I crashed and like or got stuck. It sucked pretty bad. But I don't know. So Brad, when's your first one coming up, man?
Dude, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of out of season here in Michigan, but in the spring, I think I'm definitely gonna start doing them. You got me pumped.
I was talking to a client today. He said that the Michigan weather has not been as bad this year as in winters past so far.
It's weird. It's like, I mean, today it was like 50 degrees. Tomorrow's supposed to be about 60 degrees and sunny. So it's like awesome riding weather, but it's just out of season. They don't schedule events. I mean, they actually, I think they do have a couple winter events like that you're supposed to ride in deep snow.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I don't know. I guess it'd be kind of fun to do for my first one, just like send it through a foot of powder or something.
Lee knows all about that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I got to work on my studded tires soon here.
Not to brag, but it was like 78 degrees here today and sunny.
Oh, disgusting! That sucks for trail riding.
I took like an hour and 45-minute lunch, and I just went for like a 50-mile motorcycle ride on my lunch hour. It was awesome.
Yeah, rub it in.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Yeah, there's snow everywhere here, and it's pissing rain right now because for some reason it got warm today, so it's going to be ice fest.
Yeah, I was going to say it'll go to ice overnight.
Oh yeah, I can already I've been hearing nothing but sirens going off since I fucking sat on the couch, so I can tell it's already starting to freeze and people are smashing into each other.
Gotta love winter up there.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't fucking happen to me. I know what I'm doing when winter hits.
Because you're not the average.
I've lived here my whole life. I remember that winter comes here. It's like every year, 80% of the population totally forgets that winter happens here, and they forget how to fucking drive and smash into each other all over the place.
every
man,
time.
it's like that here. I mean, even though it's West Texas, we usually do get one snowstorm a year, and usually one, if not two, ice storms. In fact, there was just a picture today that got bumped on my Facebook page of the ice storm of 2013, and a picture I took of a tree that had been turned into a giant icicle. And so it happens, and that's when we have to worry like that because, dude, West Texans do not know how to drive in ice. It's like, well, I could make a very off-color comment about the differently abled, about the mentally challenged, but I will not do that. Yeah, but I think you know what I'm driving at.
Yeah.
They drive like retards.
That offends me.
This is what it's like to feel something. I feel offended.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we're just down here in Florida having the best weather that's ever fucking happened, man. It was 75 degrees all day today out in the woods. Absolutely.
Yeah, I've been watching you guys' weather, man. I had a friend who was down in Miami, and man, it's just been really, really good weather all over Florida for the last week for sure.
That's beautiful. Although, dude, when I was out there camping at that event, I don't really camp a lot, or I haven't since I was a kid. And I severely underestimated how cold it would get in the back of that truck. I was like, oh, this blanket is fine at home. I got this cot. I'm gonna sleep in the back of the truck. I got down to the 50s. I froze my fucking ass off.
Oh no, the 50s. I'm like, it was 30 degrees out last night, and I opened the window because I was sweating.
It was 50 degrees when I rode to work this morning, and I wore my heavy riding jacket.
Yeah, I'd be full on bat winging in the 50s, like.
Yeah.
Well, I was cold, so you guys can just go fuck yourself.
Hey, I'm right there with you, man. I'm cold at 50 degrees too.
I was
a normal summer day for me is 99 degrees. So, I'm totally, I'm totally freezing at 45 or 50 degrees.
50s is as cold as it gets. I didn't know that anything colder actually fucking exists, that humans can survive. Brad, Justin wants me to tell you boner wings. I don't know what that means.
Oh, hold on. What was that? I just ran off for a second.
Boner wings.
Oh, boner wings. Gotta love the boner wings.
Dude, I want so badly to just become a rich guy, just to be able to fly you out on a whim during like a week when it's -30, -40 here.
Are you measuring valve shims?
What?
Are you measuring valve shims?
No, I'm making a brake reservoir cap.
Oh, okay. Sorry to interrupt everybody.
I mean, well, Brad gets close. They get close to that kind of weather, but they don't get exactly that cold, nor not as close.
I think below like -20, you don't really notice any difference.
I'm digging that you're starting.
Yeah, pretty much anything after that sucks.
I'm digging that you're making parts again, Brad. That was like.
Dude, I know. I was slacking all summer, but this winter I'm going hard. New part every week.
Good.
Are you doing it out of billet or what's the deal?
You want to see what's going on right now?
Yeah.
All right, here, hold on. I'm trying to drop a new one in CAD right now. So, I'll just go out here.
God, nice dad office. What's wrong with you?
Yeah. Well, it is my dad's office, actually.
Okay, I was about to say, what a sensible office you have there.
Guys hear me?
Yeah.
All right, so got this machine running here. I can't really open it. Maybe you can kind of see, but pretty much I'm making all these caps here. I got a shitload more to go, and that's just the first stops, and I gotta cut them out into this looking thing here. Then I gotta get them anodized, and then I gotta do some more shit to it. So it's kind of it's quite the process, but
that's fucking cool, man. I mean, you're in a unique position. Nobody fucking does that. Like, nobody's fucking doing shit like that. That's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, you're the only guy I know in the motorcycle channel world who actually is machining his own parts or making his own parts. Who's doing it correctly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just spoiled and have
Yeah, you got the good.
all the.
I was just gonna say I do it all the time too, but I mean, you got a little. There's a little bit of a difference in equipment.
Yeah, you. I mean, you do it right. You do your parts right too. But man, you're more like a hands-on, one-off part builder. You don't have like the CNC machines and all that stuff. You have a lathe though, right? Yeah, you got the lathe and drill press and all that.
Oh man,
Yeah,
I would give my right testicle to fucking hang out in B-Rad's shop for a little while.
The problem is a lot of the time it's always busy with all my dad's stuff and his business stuff. So
does he have anything that he specifically specializes in as far as manufacturing goes?
no, it's I mean, really anything within a reasonable size. Like our tables are 4 feet wide on the CNC machine. So basically, if it's within that, I mean, we can do longer stuff, but you have to do it in sections. So if it's like, one solid piece that you got to do in one operation, then kind of 4 feet by 16 inches is your limit. But
so does he do a lot of stuff where people just send them their CAD drawings and he just plugs them in and runs them, or do you guys do a lot of the design too?
Yeah, I mean, in simple terms, that's how it works. Mainly, we'll do one-off parts, and then anywhere up to a couple thousand pieces of something. But no, we don't really do any design work for others. We'll give like some input if we think something could be different. That would be a little better if like the person's kind of questioning the design. Of course, you don't question another engineer.
Of course.
So you just make their part.
Yeah.
But if it's some hobby dude trying to make a bicycle part for his 3-year-old, then you maybe
exactly.
Input, but
he may need a little guidance. Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know how engineers are. Believe me.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but yeah.
No, I know a few engineers. They're all a certain type of person. I'll just stop there because some of them might be watching right now. You know what you're like. I fucking love it, man. That's fucking cool. Hey, just real quick, I just want to give a shout out in the side chat. If you see Tyler27B, that's the guy who's helping me out and who helped me out through the race and has been like giving me some one-on-one pointers and shit to get faster. So go over there, give him a sub if you see him pop up there in the side chat, and encourage him to make some more videos too. He's only got a few on there, but maybe now that we're doing stuff like you help me out with the racing, I'll help you out with the videos, man. Like as much as I know how to do anyway.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Him and his dad were there helping you.
Dude totally sacrificed his practice lap to like stop like every 15 minutes and be like, well, this is what you need to do here. This is what you need to do here. Blah, blah, blah. So, and don't forget to breathe. Like, fucking really awesome. When are you going to start racing again, Lee? What the fuck?
If we can figure out the whole dirt bike situation for 2018, which is what I'm fucking making a game plan for in my notebook right now, then we'll be back at it.
I think I've told that
story. I mean, I know some people.
I think I've told that story like 5 times. I just thought it was so funny. I don't know why. Like, I just every time it like I get a chance to tell it, I'm just like, yeah, my buddy Lee was like gonna be like pro fucking motocross racer, and I forget exactly how you said it. It was so fucking funny. You're like, yeah, I was going pro and blah blah blah, and then like I discovered weed, pussy, and started doing freestyle, and that took my motocross career goodbye.
Yeah. I forget what I said. It was like I discovered weed and pussy and turned into a freestyler or some shit.
I was like, it's so fucking fun.
It's so true though, because like I was groomed from a little kid to be a pro racer. Like I lived in the fucking gym even when I was a little kid and doing practice laps nonstop. But then as soon as I like kind of started having a brain of my own and stuff, then things changed real fucking fast. It's like, hold on, you're telling me I can get paid to just do jumps and I can drink and smoke weed and do all this other fun stuff and have a way better time? Let's do that.
Where do I sign?
Yeah.
Shadetree Big D wants to know how many people were in that hair scramble.
There was hundreds. over all the races. They did multiple classes.
Okay.
They did 4-wheelers, and then there's like the girls and the veterans have their own class, and then
How many were in your particular class and race?
over 100. There was over 100, I think.
Wow.
Like who were in like when all racing together. Like when I did it, there had to have been over 100. Like it was crazy. I've never seen that many dirt bikes in my fucking life. It was mad. Like the guys who go to them all the time are like, yeah, whatever. But for me, like seeing that many fucking bikes all together, like all running at the same time, I was like, I feel like fucking Hunter S. Thompson and Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas or some shit. Man, the Mint 400. It was fucking wild.
Yeah, there's a lot of fucking people at that thing. Like when he rolled it through the pits there, I was like, holy shit, that's a big race circuit going on there.
Yeah, Tyler told me every single one's like that, like hundreds of fucking people racing.
Now the next thing you need to do, Josh, is go out and do the Elsinore race.
Oh no, I wasn't 5th out of 100 people. No, there was over 100 people racing in A, B, and C class. I was 5th out of C class, which I actually don't know how many people were in it. I assume more than 5, but I'm not sure exactly how many people were in it. Like, I was not 5th out of 100, nowhere close to that. And trust me, there were some people like it was a sea of orange. Don't get me wrong. Like it was KTM's all fucking day long.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's generally how any kind of enduro off-road type shit does.
Or orange and white. There's a lot of Huskies too, but and then there's a lot of YZ250s and very, very, very few Hondas. I saw almost no red there. I saw a couple like CRF 250Xs, I think they are, or R250 RX, like the ones
the
with
RX.
Yeah, with electric start and a headlight. I saw a couple of those. But there was people out there like doing it on like DRZ 400s and shit. Like there was dudes on vintage bikes out there. There was dudes on fucking like XR 650Ls. There was like guys on shit that you were like, this has no fucking business at all out there, but they fucking did it, and I'm sure a lot of them were faster than I was. So
I saw you pass a guy on like a 1989 RM250.
Oh yeah, I fucking murdered that dude. That beat that guy.
If only it had been a sea of RM250.
RM250. Fucking put his dick in the dirt. My fucking $10,000 dirt bike.
Like pushing down the 10-year-old outside of Toys R Us and taking his freaking remote control car.
Hey man, I gotta take the W where I can, all right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you definitely do. Yeah. Well, I'm thinking now that I have the ZRX running like a madman, I think I may do some bracket racing in the springtime.
And with video it, man, and do like the whole video, the whole scene. That would be so cool, man. I'd love it.
I think that's probably going to happen at least a few times. I'll do some tests and tunes, see how it's running, just kind of get a benchmark for it, and then I may enter a couple of just grudge bracket races, see if I can win some money, and then video all of it and make some episodes out of it. It's been a while.
This guy's like going like we weren't answering any questions. I'm looking back. I'm like, I answered all these questions.
Oh, fuck.
I was like looking back. I was like, was there something I didn't answer? I'm like, no, we like to answer these. All right.
Yeah, we'll answer any reasonable questions that the side chat has, of course, as usual.
Yeah. Anyway.
That guy now.
Yeah.
See, in answering that question, we answer the question.
I mean, I don't not fuck him. He's fine. He's fine. I'm sure he had an answer. Don't be mean. Like the dude probably had a question that I didn't see and didn't get answered.
Yeah. Everybody be cool. Be cool now.
It's understandable when your stuff gets lost in the shuffle to be frustrated when your question doesn't get answered. So.
Yeah, if we miss a question, I do own a wig. Yeah. Look at the Halloween show I played last year, and you'll see the most badass 70s pimp wig you've ever seen. Big old
No, there wasn't any. There wasn't any clapped out Gixxers.
The big Brad Delp fro. It was awesome. Man, I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you one thing that's changed in motorcycle culture over the past 15 or 20 years. Everybody hates GSXRs now for some reason. And I'm telling you, in 2001, 2002, if you didn't have a GSXR, you might as well just go ahead and not ride at all, because
That's literally why everybody
it's
hates
now backlash. Yeah.
Because that became every fucking street bike bro's bike of choice, and it's all these dildos riding around on them. So now everybody hates them, even though they are a perfectly fucking good bike. There's nothing wrong with them. They're actually awesome.
Thanks a lot, Matt Mladen.
Yeah, it's just.
So he's the one, man. He had 7 AMA Superbike championships in 10 years on the GSXR 750 and 1000 when they switched to the 1000s to the Superbike class. And man, I mean, back then AMA was at its height of popularity in America. Every Sunday, the races were on television. There was a late night TV show on Speed Vision that was just a debrief of all the races, like you have with all the NASCAR faggotry now. Dude, I mean, it was a huge thing then, and Matt Mladen and Aaron Yates and that whole Yoshimura Suzuki team were just dominating over the course of a decade. So it sold hundreds of thousands of Gixxers, and I guess now what we have 15 years later is the backlash from all that. They're like the uncool bikes now.
Well, I always say that, like with Harleys, and because people don't realize it, is there are more Harley Davidsons on the road than most other two motorcycles put together. I mean, and people don't realize it. For some reason, people who don't have a Harley think that it's like some unattainable thing. It's just like, no, dude, there are a lot of more Harleys on the road than anything, except for Honda scooters.
Yeah.
But in America and like England and stuff like that, like by far Harley is number one. And so if you take into account all the people who ride, and you say a percentage of those people are going to be assholes, okay, we know that. Now it makes sense that the largest group of motorcycles is also going to have the largest percentage of assholes, just because that's how numbers work.
That's true.
And, like, so yeah, there are more assholes on Harleys because there's more Harleys. Like, there are more assholes on GSXRs because there's a lot of them. Like, it's just how it works. That's the way I always look at it anyway. But yeah, people who ride GSXRs are faggots.
Yeah, Fish said that even he watched AMA Superbike in England back in those days. That's how popular it was. Yeah, and I believe that it's at its absolute height of popularity.
Fuck, I can't believe you just brought up Speed Vision too. I like that's a throwback and a half.
Yeah, hell, you were on Speed Vision back then.
Yeah, when it was when they switched it to Speed Channel. Fuck, I got in so much trouble on one of them. Like so much trouble. They
kept saying Speed Vision.
No, they live broadcasted one of our events, and they kind of had cameras like everywhere, right? They had them like pointing in the crowd. They had obviously the riding going on, and they had it like kind of in the tunnel where we were prepping and like getting ready to go and shit. And during a live broadcast, like it wasn't my fault, but they gave me shit for it, obviously, because I was the one on fucking camera doing it. They put it into the tunnel where I was like fucking hitting on these girls in the stands, and right at the same time, literally right at the exact same time that they put the camera on me on live TV, this chick pull her tits out, and she did on live TV. It was the funniest.
That is awesome.
I got so much shit for that. They fucking lost it.
I bet. I bet they did.
Good.
I'll tell you the dumbest thing I ever did on Speed Channel. It was Speed Channel then. Was I was covering an AMA Superbike race, and it was Pikes Peak, and Eric Bostrom won that race. It was Pikes Peak 2003. Eric Bostrom won that race. We're all down in the press area, and I'm literally standing right next to Greg White. I was so stoked that Eric Bostrom had beaten Matt Mladen. He won on the ZX7R. I'm there with my camera and my freaking notepad and all that crap, taking pictures, whatever. And Greg said something like, "You did it. You beat Matt Mladen. How does it feel to beat Matt Mladen?" And without even thinking about it, I went, yeah, dude. And I'm like a foot from the microphone. So I'm sure the audio guys in the truck were ready to put their foot in my ass. Oh, those were the days. Those were the days. I have never actually seen that. I just got a rash of shit for it when I got back to Texas from covering those races. And I didn't. I had my then VCR. It's 2003, mind you. I had my VCR set to record the race, but it got bumped because of rain. So I don't have that race on tape. Even to this day, I never saw that race. I never got to hear myself yelling like an idiot during the post-race interview. But everybody told me I did it, and they were like, "We know your voice. We know that was you." I was like, "Yeah, it was me."
Did you have hair in 2003, Tim?
I did have hair in 2003. I'd cut it short by then. In fact, I had just cut it short because it was thinning, and I didn't want to be one of those dudes in his 30s who like has thin, long, scraggly hair. I just wasn't going to do that. So
the skullet.
The skullet. Yeah, it was either 2008 or 2009 when I started just shaving it bald, and I haven't looked back since. Man, it's being bald it's just the best, man.
Yeah, it has to be.
I'm slowly making that transition. Slowly making it.
It has to be the best.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
I've gone down to like not using the guard on the fucking trimmer anymore, so that's like the last step before the final fucking baldness.
Gotta embrace the dome.
You wear hats all the time anyway. You're a hat guy.
Yeah, probably why I'm bald.
See, and I never wore hats, so whatever.
I wear hats on the weekends and in my videos, so everybody thinks I wear a hat all the time. And then they come and see me at the bar. They're like, "Where's your hat?" Inside at work, I don't wear a fucking hat. Like, I don't know.
Every fucking dude on both sides of my family are bald as shit by the time they're 35, so I never stood a chance anyways.
What about you, B-Rad? You fucking young buck over here, 22 years old. You're gonna fucking probably you got no chance of going bald. I'm fucking losing it on top.
Yeah, no, I shaved my head.
He's not worried about going, but he's still growing new hair in funny places.
Well, last week I discovered some fuzz on my balls for the first time.
Oh man!
Just wait to get that first gray pube.
All right, Havoc 450. Why would I feel bad about saying that? Always a cool name, Havoc. Yeah, B-Rad sold the FZ, right? It's gone.
I did.
Wow.
So, yep.
Why, man? You not for that street bike life, man.
No, I mean I liked it. It was a sweet bike. I didn't ride it enough. I'd rather have another dirt bike. So that's what I'm gonna do.
What'd you say you're gonna get? You're gonna get like a 150 or 125 or something?
Obviously not a KTM, so I'm gonna stop at that. No, I'm gonna get a YZ 450 FX.
Nice.
I need some fuel injected again, and that I can like do road riding with, because I want to do more dual sport stuff, but like aggressive dual sport, not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so like something that you can still put a plate on, but it's like more aggressive than the WR.
Right. I mean, my YZ 250 is street legal, but it's two-stroke and that sucks on the road. So.
And we didn't even say what's up to Chronicles of Mr. Fish, man. Like, what's up, dude? I'm sorry.
I sent him a link. I sent Justin the Apparition and Fish. You guys both have links on Facebook.
I sent
Tim, look at the screen.
Oh, Fish. There you are.
I'm just being polite.
Dude,
I know it's unusual.
Ever since you changed your logo, it takes me a while to recognize it.
Yeah, I only did that in, I think
it was like last year.
April.
Yeah. Oh, it was this year. Oh, thank God it was this year still.
Yeah, it was definitely this year, because it's got the Africa twin in it. So I bought that in February, so maybe March. I changed the logo, but thanks for paying attention.
No, I did recognize it at the time. I just didn't connect my neurons to it like I should have.
It's all right. It's all cool. I'll forgive you.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it.
How's
Man,
it going anyway? What's been happening, people?
how are you doing?
Hanging out.
I'm okay. I just woke up. I fell asleep on the sofa.
Oh wow, it's 2 or 3 in the morning.
2 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, 2:03. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
almost always fall asleep on the sofa unless I've got something to do in the morning. I don't know how to go to bed.
Yeah. Well, I was waiting up. I was waiting up to pick up my daughter, and then she just texted me to say she's being dropped off. so it was.
B-Rad over there in the side chat. Mothman's going. He loves your single track videos.
Oh, thanks, man. Sorry, I'm like super focused on drawing shit in CAD right now, so I'm not.
I just wanted. I know you are. I just want to pass.
Oh, thank you.
I see Mothman around all the time, man. That goes.
Yeah, no, I have too, for sure. Thanks, Mothman.
It looks like you're giving your undivided attention to us right now. So that's
Hey,
cool.
I just stated that I was not. Okay.
The CAD window is immediately below the webcam.
No, actually, I got full screen coverage of CAD right now, so there's.
Okay.
I see no things.
John Riles, thank you, man. I'm the ambassador of fucking fat dudes doing extreme.
Hey, you gotta start a new clothing line, like
It's a good job you haven't got a complex, isn't it?
like lard ass enduro or something.
Double XL extreme, man.
You sell plus size enduro gear.
Yeah, I would, man. It's fucking hard to find fucking like dirt bike shoes and shit that fit, dude. They're all made for skinny guys.
Wear a caftan. Just put numbers on it.
Or like if it's like trying to find, I'm sure it's the same thing. If you're like a big dude and you're like trying to find leathers or something like that, like,
Yeah.
dude, not happening. I've had the same pair of dirt bike pants since I very first started riding because it's the only pair I found that fit. I like nobody else makes them in that size. But hey, Moose Sahara pants, they fucking hold up because I fucking riding in them for 2.5 years.
Is that the same pair of pants you broke your foot in, basically?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. That burned them, ripped them. They fucking, I don't know, they hold up.
Your lucky pants.
Chaz106G says, who's the guy with the Africa twin? That is Chronicles of Mr. Fish, and yes, he has an awesome channel.
You obviously haven't seen it.
I love this shit, man. I vote more off-roading with the Africa twin. I fucking like that.
Yeah, if I had any. I haven't got any off. There's not much off-roading in London.
Are you guys
No, there's not.
Unless you count the sidewalk.
Yeah, I watch Tri Triple Kylie and Quentin's channel. So anytime they post a video, and they're always like, "Oh yeah, we're going off roading," and man, they're in like some dude's backyard in his driveway. That's like rural riding in England.
Yeah, I mean, I call speed bumps sort of like I'm on the track. If I go over a speed bump,
Yeah,
that's as close as we get.
out here, man, if you go truly off-roading and crash, you might not be found for a week.
Yeah, that's the sort of off-roading I want to do. Not that I'd be any good at it, but I'll probably go out once and then die.
Like they have a bunch of fucking crazy enduro races in England. That's where it started.
Yeah, I mean we have them, but the level of riding is unreal. I mean the Africa Twins. Too big because we have.
I know you're not going to do it on the Africa Twin, but
yeah, we just have mud here for 6-7 months of the year, so it's not even nice. I prefer to ride on dry stuff. I'd ride anywhere on dry stuff, but once it hits the mud, it doesn't become fun.
Yeah, that's not fun at all.
I've actually spent more time off road on my road bikes than my off road bikes. That makes sense. Don't know why. Yeah,
it's frustrating because I have so much fun riding off road. I know B-Rad feels this a lot too.
Oh yeah.
It's like off road riding is probably the most fun thing I do, and it gets the lowest fucking views. Like people are just like, yeah, we don't really care about this.
Really, you just gotta find a way to incorporate some titties, and then you're golden.
Pretty much. Yep.
the moobs count.
Either that.
That's basically my formula for life.
Incorporate some titties into it.
Yeah,
That's just
it doesn't matter. Just incorporate titties.
That's a 38 Ride Company shirt right there. That's just your motto. just in quotation marks
Yeah,
on the
just
front of the
add
shirt. It just needs to say incorporate some titties into it.
Yeah, just a shirt that just says "add some titties to your life," and that's it. That's oh fuck.
Oh yeah, money in the bank, son.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't
man.
think I could do that over here. Me riding around my own garden would not be the greatest video ever made. Plus, it'd last about 3 seconds. So small. So we have no riding over here in London. Nothing. All we have is traffic and Priuses.
Yeah, isn't there like a huge like tax incentive or something to buy a hybrid vehicle within London, especially like?
They subsidise it.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
they subsidize it here too, but I don't know if they subsidize.
I don't know why people buy them so much. I think the reason people buy them in London is because we got a congestion charge, so you have to pay to get into London unless you've got a hybrid or electric car. Then it's free to get into London. So it's free for motorcycles as well. But for some reason, people have taken up the electric car rather than the motorcycle. Dumb fucks. But and because there's no parking for bikes, and because if you park your bike up for more than 20 minutes, it's gone. It's been stolen. So it's a huge. You've got an epidemic here of bikes being stolen. Hence the reason I bought another bike that wasn't a Grom or an Africa Twin. I had to buy a bike that sort of like flies under the radar a little bit. So that's why I went for the CB, because hopefully that won't be stolen.
Yeah, something that's not as popular with the bike thief, the London bike thief.
A lot of bikes are stolen to order. But they steal scooters first. That's what they steal. 300cc scooters, 400cc scooters, because they can put all their angle grinders under the seat and they're automatics. So when they steal the other bike, they can push it. They put one foot on the back with the rider on, they push it to a designated area, and they can have all the time in the world they want with it.
Where do all these thousands of stolen bikes from London go? Do they take them out of the country? What happens to them? Do they get shot?
I think a lot of them, they go to warehouses and they break them down and then sell the bits on eBay. I just spoke to a guy that came back from the show, and they built an old, remember the Suzuki TL1000s?
Oh, yeah.
They built one of those from stolen parts, and it cost them £18,000 to get every single component for it from eBay. So that's where the money is. If you bought one second hand or on the used market, the most you're going to pay is about £3,000. But to buy every single part, original part individual, it cost them nearly £18,000, they were saying. So that's why they break all these bikes up, because it's worth astronomical amounts more.
Yeah, it's like those guys up in the Midwest. I can't remember what state it was in. I think it's in Pennsylvania. There's a BMW dealership up there, and they wanted to see if they could build 75 or 76 R90, BMW R90 from the parts catalog, and they did it. They only used 2 parts that were not out of the parts catalog, brand new parts or OEM parts or NOS parts. And it cost them $30-something thousand to build this 1976 BMW.
That's BMW though, man. They still make parts,
and that's what they were trying to prove, Josh, was that even if you have a 40 or 50-year-old BMW, you can still get every single part you need for it from BMW, because they're so good about making sure that everything's always available for every bike they've ever built.
That's a company that believes in their product. They want, and it's advertising, basically. It's going like, hey, we want people to see that there are 50-year-old BMWs on the road. Like the bike that you have forever that runs for its entire fucking life. Richard has 2 vintage BMWs, and they fucking run like tops.
But the Boxer engine is such simple engineering,
right?
And it's a great engine.
Yeah, it's under stress. It's robust. Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find that video.
Nice engine. When I had that GS 1200, I fell in love with that Boxer engine. Yeah, it was a great bike.
I don't know how long the K series of bikes are going to last, but the Boxers that's a forever bike.
Yeah. Yeah, apart from the only thing I didn't like about it wasn't me that disliked it. It was my shins disliked them.
Yeah, until you fall over and blow the fucking head off the thing and have like a $3,000 part bill.
Yeah,
I've seen so many of those happen.
That's why a lot of riders put their leg under it as they go under.
It's cheaper to read.
Cheaper to go to the
Sacrifice the lower
hospital.
limb.
Yeah. There, I just linked in both side chats, the internal and the external. Those guys built that entire bike from the parts catalog, with the exception of 2 parts, which I think was like a washer and the swing arm. They used a swing arm they already had in some washer or grommet or something, and the rest of it they built piece by piece from the parts catalog. Pretty amazing.
Probably a lot of people already know this, but just something that I always kind of thought was a cool factoid about the BMW Boxer engine, just because it's such an unlikely configuration. And it's just, it's nostalgia. Like, it doesn't really make sense. Like, there's not really a whole lot of advantages to it, especially in the age of liquid cooling.
Mm-hmm.
But BMW built airplanes with radial engines. And if you're familiar with old airplanes and the radial engines, it's like like these jugs in a big circle.
The radial reciprocating engines.
And that's what the BMW bike was just an aircraft engine where they took everything off it except for 2 cylinders.
Yeah, because they built the aeroplanes and then they were banned from building aeroplanes because of the war, after the war. But then they used their engineers to build cars and bikes instead.
Right.
Basically.
And they became among the best in the world. And I'll tell you a similar story, as you all may know. We also had a little war with Japan back in the 40s. And we did the same thing with them. Basically, part of their surrender agreement was that they would have no military, and they don't to this day. They've got a small self-defense force, and that's it. Actually, the United States provides the majority of their defense, much like we do in Germany, but don't get me started on that. So what happened was you had all these brilliant engineers in Japan who couldn't work. The best and the brightest couldn't do like they did here in America. In America, the best and the brightest engineers, they go to work for Raytheon or McDonnell Douglas, or they go to work for a contractor and they work in aerospace, or they build weapon systems, they build aircraft, or they build tanks, you name it. They basically go into the military industrial complex. Well, that's not an option in Japan even to this day. And one of the reasons why they arguably build the best motorcycles in the world to this day is because their best and brightest build ships and motorcycles and cars and and that sort of thing. So civilian engineering, if you will, civilian mechanical engineering and design.
Whoa.
Yeah. Oh, Justin's here.
What's up, everybody?
How you doing, man?
How's it going?
Good, guys. Josh, awesome fucking job at your race, dude. That was lit and inspiring, man. I fucking loved it. I watched every minute of the video. It was badass, dude.
Thanks, brother. I really appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
It was a triumph for fat dudes everywhere.
Dude. Absolutely. And inspiration. I would have died, dude. I'd have gone home 10 times, man. That was awesome. Fucking kept killing it.
I would have crashed on the start line.
That was a lot of people crashed in the first turn.
Yeah,
a lot of people did.
And I probably wouldn't have even made it to the first turn, to be honest.
And that was
I'd have fallen off the trailer.
I don't want to crash in the first turn. There are multiple people, like not dozens, but like close to 10. Like in the different ways, like you would see someone like there's someone down in the first turn. Like,
yeah,
it's got to be just like a combination of nerves and want to get the whole shot, and it's just like boom down and like fucking been racing for 10 seconds and you're on your fucking ass.
Yeah, it's got to be so disappointing, isn't it? All that training and work up to that out of the first bend.
I'm sure.
Sometimes it fires you up.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's actually like, I don't know, like it's a wake up call for you to fucking haul ass even faster. I've seen multiple dudes, like even in like the top level of the game, get taken out in the first corner and come back to fucking win.
Okay, so when I was like I couldn't drive yet, so I was like 14. Yeah, 14 years old, something like that. My dad took us to Supercross, and I was And I don't know, you can give me shit if you want, but I was a big Jeremy McGrath. This is back when Jeremy McGrath was fucking
Oh yeah,
Fuck yeah.
And
King.
it was I waited all year for Supercross to come to Dallas and go watch Jeremy McGrath. He won like every race of the season up to that point. So he's gonna fucking win, no problem. Same thing happened. He gets taken out in the first corner, and he gets like dropped all the way back to like almost dead last. And he fought all the way back and got second place. And it was like some of the baddest shit I've ever seen in my life. So it was awesome. Yeah, it was fucking awesome watching him just battle all the way back to second, just like you said, from getting taken out at the very beginning. And I was like, damn, dude, he didn't just podium. He got fucking second.
Cool. There's something about that, though, when you watch racing and the best ones, something happens in practice and they have to start from the back. It just makes it such a great, interesting race when they start from the back, just picking people off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was. He put on a clinic for sure. It was some crazy shit to see.
Fucking back before he kind of lost his touch, James Stewart was the king at that.
oh yeah.
Yeah, dude. Man,
Sad
I got off on a James Stewart highlight rabbit hole on YouTube the other day and started watching some of his battles and shit.
Yeah, he used to be the master of coming through the pack, just like furious. Like no one fucking held him up, man.
Yeah, I like the way they just barge people out the way. It's like, out the way, son. Education.
Oh, that's the most
through.
fun thing in the world. Like, I don't know why it's like fucking fun to just park people off the track. I used to be like infamous for that shit. I'd give someone one chance for a clean pass if they fucking are trying to like take my line away or something again. Oh, you're going down. I'm taking out your front wheel.
Elbows out.
Yeah.
So that's what elbows are designed for.
That shit's just fun, man. I don't know. Racing like that's fun. Even like when even at like the local series and stuff, when like half the time you're racing with your friends that you grew up with, and even with our friends, like we get even worse on each other than if we hated each other. Like we just smash fucking hard into each other to pass and just be laughing, faggot, and fucking. Oh, it's the best.
We use our elbows on the commute. That's all we get over here.
Even when we're play riding, we'll do that. Like me and Poirier, man, like we'll be in the sand pits and just like leisurely coming around a trail or something, and I'll just come in inside them and just put them into the trees. No reason at all other than it's hilarious.
Well, I think if you're also used to it, that's one thing. Like,
yeah, that's true. If you ever do that to someone that's not used to it, then it's a different story.
What the fuck?
What the fuck just happened?
Yeah. They stand by the side of the track waiting for the next lap to just jump on you.
I used to do that to my dad whenever I got mad at him, like whenever he'd like ground me or something or fucking kick my ass for something. We'd go to the track and I'd just fucking pile him off the side of the track as hard as I could.
Number 38, number 38.
Yeah. Just see this little kid on an 80 come into a corner just screaming fucking third gear pin and not even touch the brakes and just smash him.
Gangster.
oh man, seeing how fast some of those people went was humbling. Like,
Yeah, it looked like there was a couple pretty quick guys even in your class there.
yeah, there was like even like the top guy in C was lapping some of the lower guys in B. So he was really fucking fast.
I just find it baffling how anyone stays on dirt at that speed. Baffles me. Probably because I don't ride off road, but it baffles me. How you're not off at every opportunity, every bounce. I'd be face first in the floor.
Well, Lee, explain it to us. Brad, take it away. Somebody that knows what they're talking about.
What was I explaining? I was just typing in the chat. I missed that whole part.
Oh, I don't know.
It's like, how do
Something about
people
dirt bikes.
stay on fucking dirt bikes?
Yeah, how to stay upright.
It's gotta be. It's such a leap of faith, like going into a corner. It seems like because the conditions are so varying and so different. And it's like going into this corner, no brakes, fucking just like leaned over to where your head's almost touching the ground in a fucking rut. It's like it seems like a coin toss. I mean, I know it's not, but it seems like one.
Yeah, like you pretty much just gotta, I don't know, trust yourself and like not pay attention to how gnarly the shit is, because as soon as you do, that's when you're gonna go down. Like when you look at the ruts, you're falling in that rut, guaranteed. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna fucking look at that rut and you're gonna fall into it. If you're not
even in
looking
your
at
video, you were saying that, Josh. You're like, I gotta quit looking at these ruts.
yeah, dude. If you're looking like
bad.
30 feet past the rut and just stay on the throttle, it pretty much doesn't matter where you're going. You're gonna be fine. It's weird how that works out.
Myself, it doesn't matter what's in front of your front wheel because you're already going to run over that. Like, so why look at it? Like, it doesn't matter. I'm going, like, whatever's right there, I'm fucking going over it one way for better or for worse. So might as well look ahead. It's hard.
It's the twist of the wrist principle, you know. It's one of the things Keith Code talked about in that book was that your bike's performance envelope is much bigger and will go much further than your survival instincts want to allow it to go. And so one of the big hurdles is you've got to not ignore your survival instincts, but you've got to sort of reset them. You have to redial them at a higher level in order to get. It's part of getting the most out of any bike.
I quite like my survival instincts.
Me too.
It worked so far.
Yeah.
Only just though. In the hospital, they've only just worked.
What up, fellas?
What's up, Ghost?
Ghost?
I tried joining earlier, but for some reason the link is not opening on my phone anymore. So I'm like, it's fucking retarded.
You sound sober, Ghost.
That's a rare. I know, it's rare.
Unusual.
Oh, it's early there, though. What is it, like fucking 5 o'clock where you're at now?
6:30, right?
Yeah, 6:25, 6:30, whatever. Yep.
Oh, that's late enough to be drunk.
Yeah. If I didn't have to work.
Oh, I was gonna say you must have just walked in the door if you work. That's what I was about to say, man. Because don't you have like an hour and a half commute each way now?
Oh man, 100 miles an hour makes a big difference.
Yeah, that's true.
Just waiting to get a ticket.
Are you blasting through all of that area, kind of behind, like east of San Diego, like down south of Palomar and all that, all those rural roads? Yep. I know exactly the route that you take every day. So you can get away with it pretty good. You can go 100 miles an hour most of that way if you keep it.
Yeah, I think I've averaged about 90 the entire way. And every once in a while, when I'm splitting lanes, you know, I'm hauling ass, and then like 3 cars down, there's a cop, and I'm like, oh fuck, just keep going.
They don't give a shit over there.
Unless it's a bike cop, they're not going to chase you down. Well, in traffic.
Yeah, a bike cop will, though. Motor patrol will do it just for the sport of it.
Yeah, dude, on the way to work this morning, I passed a motorcycle cop. Like, he kind of looked like he was going to try to split lanes, but then he moved over and passed me through, and I'm like, oh, God, why? So I went forward, and then I just went really slow so that it would annoy him, and then I scooted over and let him go by rather than him sit behind me, because I don't have blinkers, so...
Yeah. Yeah, those California motor cops, man, they like to show you how well they can ride, and they can freaking ride, man.
Mm.
You don't get to the California Motor Patrol by not being a badass on a motorcycle. You don't ever want to try to outrun those guys.
No way.
I'm lucky I didn't see any when I was over there. Some of the maneuvers I pulled because I don't know the rules. Just free for. But then I've got
an excuse. I'm a tourist. Look, mate, you guys, I'm having to drive on the wrong side of the road. I'm all discombobulated here.
That's it.
Cut me some slack, Jack.
Yeah, I mean, fucking hell. I mean, I ran some red lights. I did all sorts of shit. And I just thought, well, the worst you can do is deport me.
Well, it seemed like the speed limit was 100 miles an hour on most.
Oh, what, on the freeways?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it seemed like. I mean, when there was traffic, yeah, it was different. But like when everybody was moving, I'm like, yeah, it's like going over 90. Like
I always thought it was fun. Every year when I'm out in California riding, I'm always struck by the fact that here in Texas, we have 80 and 85 mile an hour highway speed limits in places, a lot of places. And in California, it's pretty much 65 miles an hour on all freeways, especially in Southern California.
Yeah.
But people still drive 80 and 85 or faster, and they'll go right by a cop going that fast and don't even think a thing about it.
Yeah.
Or you have cops that just pass you because you're going too slow. You're doing like 70.
I remember Bash when Bash was going through Texas. Did you guys ever see that video he did where they're going through Texas to go to that meetup? Him and I can't remember who it was. They had their bikes in the back of his pickup and they're going across Texas, and he got popped for like 12 miles an hour over the speed limit. And he was throwing a fit. He was like, I can't believe you guys write tickets for 12 miles an hour over the speed limit. That's not even speeding.
I remember that. Shit was fun.
Yeah. I remember I got on the freeway over there and I was doing 70 and I felt like I was going backwards. And I thought, I'm doing 70 miles an hour. And everyone's just passing me in all lanes. All lanes were going past me. Oh, fuck, I better speed up. I'm on the wrong side of the road. I don't know where I'm going. And I'm having to sit at 90 mile an hour trying to negotiate my way to somewhere I don't know where I'm going. Fucking mayhem.
Yeah. I figured out a few years back in Arizona, in northern Arizona. I've never seen it coming through southern Arizona. But in northern Arizona, they have these trucks, these patrol vehicles, and they'll park and they have these huge telescoping poles that come up out of the top of them, and they've got a radar and a camera on them. And those dudes just sit there on the roadside and they take your picture and radar you, and then they don't even bother pulling you over or contacting you or anything. You just get a ticket in the mail.
Also, they do it in England, isn't it?
Yeah, we get all of that. There's cameras everywhere here.
You can't. That's thankfully illegal in Texas. Yeah.
Oh, every junction has a camera.
Oh my gosh.
We're still fighting red light cameras here.
Yeah, we got rid of them. Yeah, they were a disaster in Texas. They were an absolute disaster.
Yeah, in one St. Petersburg, rid of them in Tampa.
Yeah, what they figured out in Texas was that number one, you know, obviously you have a right to face your accuser, and if your accuser is a machine, you know what I mean. It's hard. It doesn't work with misdemeanors. I mean, obviously being videotaped in the commission of a felony is a completely different deal. But for some, you know, frivolous misdemeanor, the public just wasn't going to put up with it. But what they figured out was that the companies who put those cameras in, those red light cameras in Texas, were private companies. They were for-profit companies, and they were taking a percentage of each fine as payment for installing and monitoring the systems.
Oh.
And when they weren't making enough money, or when they felt like their revenue was down as a company, they would shorten the amber lights so that it increased the chances of motorists running red lights. And once that's broke, that was the end of it. The legislature, I think, pretty much made them illegal all throughout Texas. I know for sure they got them taken out of some of the major metro areas just because Texans are going soft and becoming pussies slowly but surely, especially since everybody from California is moving here. But for now, we still have enough of a backbone to stand up for our liberty.
There is a cancer in Texas. And
there is a cancer in Texas. It's called Californication.
No,
yeah.
I was going to say its name is Austin.
Yeah, Austin. That's exactly right. That is the epicenter.
Fuck, I've got a red light camera right in front of my house. It's only like 50 kilometers an hour zone, so I go and mob it on my mini bikes all the time. It's fucking hilarious.
Guys are like, it's Lee again. Fuck it, let him go.
In the areas where people ride and sort of like muck around and do stunts, what they do is throw tires over them and set fire to the tires.
Yeah.
They just burn them down, or they get trucks and then just pull them over.
Yeah, wow. Miguel says that there are still red light cameras in Texas, but it's up to the county. So it wouldn't work in Midland County, I'll tell you that, Miguel, because there'd be rednecks out there every Friday and Saturday night blowing the shit out of those cameras. It'd be shotgun Saturday night every week.
We're working on it here, man. And it's the same deal. The companies, they're making profit off of each ticket, and it's just like you know, an offender based business plan just doesn't fucking work, man.
Zoom said 10 years from now, Texas will be San Francisco. Bite your tongue, William. Bite your tongue.
Does that mean it's going to be epically gay?
It means to get their own frog.
I don't care if Texas becomes epically gay as long as it's still epically free.
Cowboy hats are going to mean a whole different thing.
Yeah. I'm all about freedom, as you well know. Yeah, times are changing. Texas is changing, man. I'm noticing it. Some things are good. Some things are, we do some things that are really good. Like we made open carry. We finally did open carry, which thank God for that. And we finally removed our restrictions on bladed weapons. So you can literally go down the street with a sword on your hip, so we'll do certain things that increase personal liberty and people's safety, but then we do other things that are just retarded, like red light cameras, as we were discussing. So it's just a funny thing.
That's legislative shit, man. The right pockets are getting fucking
exactly. It's all about which lobbyist has the most money and the most influence. That's how shit gets passed. If you want to get some laws passed in this day and age in the United States, you don't go to the legislature or your senator or your congressman. You go to whoever's paying him, whatever lobby is in his back pocket. That's how you get shit done in just about anywhere in America these days.
And they thought they could make about $1 million on fucking that shit. But there's a huge fuck up here. It's with DUIs. That drives me crazy. Is that there is, I guess one company's got the contract for the breathalyzers, right? And it's two companies. I believe there's only two companies. If one company would be a fucking monopoly, but there's two companies that got the contract for a breathalyzer. It's something like a couple $100 a month to have it in your car. And then they made it like they came in and these lobbyists went down. And now if you get a DUI, it's mandatory. It has to be in your car for a year.
Wow.
And people and like, I get it. That's like, how do you defend that? It's hard to defend because you're like, oh, it's a DUI. Like, you deserve to be in trouble. You had a DUI. But what people don't look at is like, no, people are looking at this and going, we can make a profit off of punishing people further.
Yeah, it incentivizes
slippery fucking slope, man.
Yeah, it's exactly right. For one thing, the punishment should always fit the crime. And I am in no way for drinking and driving, but if it's your first offense and you didn't hurt anybody in the commission of it, a year with a breathalyzer in your car seems harsh to me. But like you said, it's all being set up so that private companies can profit off of it. The enforcement of these misdemeanors have become profit centers for contractors. Much like, our military is the same way. Raytheon loves it when we go to war. Donald Douglas loves it when we go to war, simply because they know that they're going to get more contracts. And, it's kind of a dangerous, it's a complicated situation because what's the alternative to it? But there are definitely some incentives to,
that's crazy,
become invasive.
There you go. And it's like it. The whole prison system, this whole fucking thing, dude. It's all about making dollars, man. And you get people in trouble and you get them in the system. And then you're making money off of them, and it's hard to defend. Like, it's nobody wants to defend people, the bad guys, So that's why they go after shit like that, DUIs and fucking all this stuff. Where it's like, who wants to defend those people?
Yeah.
But give them an inch, they take a mile, man. That's my fucking attitude on shit like that.
What's up, Jake?
Yeah, cool motorcycle talk, guys.
Yeah, well, this started out as motorcycles.
So that was the loophole with a DUI in Florida. If you got a DUI and you just didn't have a car registered in your name, then you were fine. You could drive around because you could drive around a motorcycle, and they can't put a breathalyzer on a motorcycle. So my buddy Waldo, when he got his DUI, he sold his car to me for $1. And then he just had a motorcycle in his name. So carrying the insurance was cheaper. He could drive it around. He didn't have to have a breathalyzer. Well, they just changed that. Now you have to have a breathalyzer in a car. That's what's part of what I was talking about. You have to.
Wow.
And so if you don't have a car, you basically will never get your license back.
Golly.
Which is like, okay, you don't need your license if you don't have a car, but like that's the whole thing. It's like you just like now you're stuck in this vicious fucking circle.
Yeah, it's one extreme. Yeah, you guys, one extreme or the other, man. That's the laws were two extremes. Was no moderate aspect to any of that.
The moral of the story is don't drink and drive.
True.
Shut up.
Is true.
I have never.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing?
Drinks and drives that can't catch all of us.
Life's a gamble.
Yeah.
You know what? And you know what gets me about that though? It's like when does cell phone use while driving? Not to get on that tired ass logged out subject, but if it costs 10 grand because you're driving under the influence because you're drunk.
Is somebody building the 10 man?
Yeah, what is
Not
that?
me. Sounds like
Yeah,
Building the tent.
I'm making chicken fingers.
Okay, well, can you make it quieter?
No.
You were completely drowning Josh and I. We could not understand what he was saying.
Sorry, you're muted. You can unmute it in a minute. Just it's too
All
much.
right. Now, continue, Josh. We can hear you now.
Well, and again, it's a flogged out subject, but you look at the thousands of dollars in fines and all this legislature against driving under the influence. When you sit there and you say the reason that is because it makes you not as good at driving, which therefore makes you a danger on the road. You're getting all these fines because now that you're drunk, you're bad at driving and your car is a weapon, right? That's the idea, right? Like that's why there's the fines. That's why you get in trouble, because you're a danger to other people on the road. How the fuck, and that when all this stuff exists for that, you can just drive around and text on your cell phone with impunity. And like, even if in most states, even where there is a fine for it, it's a minor fine that means nothing.
Yeah.
Like it just like it doesn't matter. It's like, so why isn't there a $10,000 fine for using your cell phone while you drive a vehicle?
Well, I tell you, a big part of that is because
fucking
it's so difficult to enforce and it's difficult to prove.
Well, what did they do here? They changed. I think it's across Texas, and at least it's out here. They made it now. It's illegal to text and drive.
You
But you can still use your phone. Well, you
Yeah.
can talk, and you can still you can hold your phone, and try to pull up GPS. It's like, so how are the cops going to enforce? Like, well, I saw you typing that message to Tiffany.
Right.
California changed the law recently where you can't even have the phone in your hand.
Well, because you know what people were doing out there, and I've seen it in California. I did it when I was in California driving a car. I put it on speaker and hold it like a foot away from my face. And it's like, it's no different.
So yeah, now it's illegal to even have it in your hand while you're freaking driving.
Yeah, I get it, dude. I get
What's
it.
the fine?
Yes, same here.
I'm not sure what the fine is, but
probably somewhere between 250 and
Yeah.
500.
Deepest Toaster says $160.
oh, there you go.
That's how it is.
Over here,
You know what though? Like,
you can get banned from driving for using the phone.
you know, like motors.
How many people die every fucking day from cell phone use, and it's $160?
Yeah,
Exactly.
shit,
I mean, over here,
there was a study where they said driving using your cell phone is almost if not worse than driving drunk.
Yeah, it was called.
I read a survey over here the other day where they said more people are killed now by texting drivers than drunk drivers over here now.
And so here's my point in all this. I'm not calling I don't have this call for action like, let's make cell phone use as bad as getting a DUI. The point of me saying that is it's hard to defend people who drive under the influence.
Yeah. I mean, you can even get fined now.
Your grandma would never have a fucking glass of wine and drive her fucking Cadillac down the road, but she'll pull out her cell phone and text. It's easy to be like, well, I just sent in a quick text. It was fine. It's easy to defend that. It's easy to do that. It's not easy to defend driving under the influence. And that's where I always go. You give them an inch, they take a fucking mile. And the fact that they just go like, well, we're just going to pile all these fines here because no one's going to defend these guys. I think that's fucked up.
Yeah. I mean, the thing we've got here is we got the bans on the mobile phones, and they got the right to ban you from driving as well. But they would rather fine you, as you say, because they make more money that way.
Yeah, they make money.
Why take a bad driver off the road for 3 months when you can probably write him 3 or 4 tickets in that time and make $1,000 quid?
I mean, you can also get the same fines here for using a GPS system. A GPS now has to be out of reach of your hand.
But you can use your phone, right? It just has to be your phone. It's got to be in a mount or something.
Nope. You can't. You can use your phone if it's Bluetooth.
So like, what if you put it like a
the
mount,
screen.
like where it's up on the dash, so you can't reach it?
You can't touch the screen.
Yeah, so you can't.
If it's there, they can't do anything. But it's not supposed to be within arm's reach.
Well,
So
if your fucking
you
car
try and
comes with
see
a
something
GPS,
you
and
leave
like
across the
most
whole car.
Yeah, more cars are coming with them, so I guess that helps, but not everyone's got that.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah, I
understand why people
like-
don't use hands-free
you know,
anyway.
like the one in my truck is well within arm's reach. It's right there in front of me. I can fucking touch it all I want.
Yeah,
Well, I
but
get
you're
one of my
not, you're not supposed to.
shit,
You're meant
so
to
I
set your destination on the GPS, and that's it. If you want to
Yeah,
check,
it would make
you're meant to pull over.
no sense to have a feature for the driver that was out of his reach in the design.
Well, the dumb
of
thing
the
too is
car.
how many of the GPSs are GPS by themselves. They're not. They're full touchscreen. So how's it
Yeah,
say you're
it's
playing
everything.
GPS
It's-
and changing
Yeah,
your radio
it's
station?
telemetry, it's your climate control, it's everything.
But this is the
Yeah,
worst
that's
thing.
how
I know.
that's how my truck is.
The worst thing is I know 2 people that have crashed fucking around with their stereo. So what's the next thing? Ban the stereo.
two.
No music.
That's what I'm saying is that, and again, not to keep getting on that, but it's like they pile up these fines on the people who seem indefensible. You know, it's just like, oh God, he was drunk and he was driving a car. Fucking evil man.
Remember when Walter was
Jail
looking at
forever.
his phone
What a
and he
horrible
crashed?
fucking person. But meanwhile, fucking like goddamn Clarice is rolling down the road, smacking her kid in the back seat, eating a cheeseburger in one hand and text on the other. She mows over a fucking bus stop and kills 4 people and nobody.
Yeah.
Fucking
Well, I mean,
blinks an eye.
the greater moral to that, though, Josh, is just simply the fact that responsibility cannot be legislated. You cannot legislate people into being responsible, thoughtful people. That's something that has to be taught culturally, and that's what we're lacking right now.
Oh, yeah, I lack that. I use my phone non-fucking stop when I'm driving. And I get pulled over for it like pretty often, and I've still never gotten a ticket for it because I've got that big ass screen in my truck that comes stock, and I'm like, no, I'm fucking with that thing. They're like, no, you were messing with your phone. I was like, well, fucking prove it. Do you have a picture of me using it? Because that's not going to hold up when I go fight this ticket. And they're like, oh, just get the fuck out of here. You're annoying.
I don't know, like I feel like motorcycle people and car people hate this technology, but I look forward to it because of the morons. I'm loving the cars that are driving themselves, because the kind of people that are using that are not car people. They're not, you know, they're people that the car to them is just transport. That's fucking great. So get in the car, let it drive you because you're a moron. Let it take over.
Yeah.
And I've seen, you can go watch the compilations of those, especially like the Teslas. Like go look up like the Tesla avoiding crashes. You see shit you won't see. It's fucking smart.
Well,
so I'm
here's
like,
the thing that people freak out. I think that people are really unaware how many like automobile accidents is an epidemic. I mean, it's like you have no idea how many people.
But if you get down where like just
the
average a-holes are just in those cars, it's going to go
every
away.
single day. How many people it kills? Like
Yeah, it's like 30. It's like 3,000 or 4,000 or more people die a year in car accidents. I think it's like 36,000 a year die in the United States in car accidents.
No, it's got to be more than that because I think it's more than that. It's like it's crazy more than that.
Let me look it up.
Because we got the big signs out here that's always all like 120 something deaths this year alone in Texas. It's fucking crazy.
I'm just in awe that Tim's got to look something up.
Yeah, no doubt, right?
Yeah,
I think it's like
in self-driving cars, and like even 1% of them get into car accidents, you're still going to have so fewer fucking deaths than these assholes are.
But even if
right.
the thing is too, yeah, it is. It's a ton, isn't it, Tim?
1.3 million die in road crashes each year.
So
but
you
I think
think
that's
every day,
worldwide.
Tim, like every day is like 9/11 happening on cars.
I think that's got to be worldwide. Though. Hang on. Every day.
Okay, maybe it's like worldwide.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people, dude.
Yeah, it's like
it's worldwide. It's 1.3 million people.
It's like a fucking. It's worse than a plague. It's a fucking epidemic, dude. Like there are.
We gotta have them though. We gotta have these cars, man.
There are fucking legitimate plagues that have killed less people than car accidents.
Yeah, there was less people around when those plagues are around too.
In 2016, 37,461 people died in car accidents in the United States. So that's like 7,000 more people than die at the hands of guns. And you have to keep in mind that a lot of gun deaths are accidental or suicide.
Suicide is more than anything.
Two-thirds of
suicide,
that 30,000 is suicides. Exactly.
Taz
count,
Ryan the other day has got a conspiracy theory on Tim that he's the last owner of a Google Glass, and that's how he knows everything.
Tim stockpiled the Google Glass. Yeah, you know all these new things you guys got into them. It was like there's Electras and or whatever the things where you ask things. You all got the Google one, right? The thing that you talk to and you ask it
Alexa,
questions.
you mean?
Whatever the fuck it's called. I want Tim to come out with his own.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be great.
In Tim's voice and everything.
Good morning, Jake. Currently, it is 47 degrees in Denton.
I would love it too. And like everything it says like comes with like a story about that Tim did. Like he's gonna tell you what the temperature is like. And I remember one time when it was
Yeah.
47
Have you seen those? Have you seen
What a
the?
small child.
Have you seen these videos though where they're baiting the thing? They're not really baiting it. They're just asking it questions, and it's fucky. It's got some opinions. These things do.
Oh, like the Steven Crowder, you follow that guy?
Yeah. I saw his.
Yeah, and he's asking him like how many genders there are and stuff.
No, the one that was crazy. He asked it like who like Muhammad was. It gave this really long answer. Then he said, "Who's Jesus Christ?" And it said that's a fictional character. And I was like, "Fuck off!" And I had to look it up, and other people done the same thing.
That's awesome.
And I was like, that's fucky. Yeah, it's straight up like got an agenda, and it's not afraid to show it.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
It's like, ask it questions. They asked it questions. What did he ask? He asked it about like Antifa and all these other things, and we're like, oh yeah, they're just activists. And then it was like, what's the alt right? And it went the fuck off, dude. I was like, whoa.
So now I'm all miring myself down in statistics. You guys want to take a guess at what has been the most deadly year for traffic deaths in the United States?
1982 was a good year.
1982 was a pretty terrible year, actually, but
I just guess, man. It seems like the times like people were just like they were partying hard and they had like a low value of life.
Well, we always tend to think that things get worse with time, but actually, cars have gotten safer with time. The most deadly year on record since the advent of the automobile in the United States was 1972, with almost 55,000 deaths.
That was a year too where people were just hard as fuck. They're just like, it is what it is, whatever.
Yeah. Cars were made out of solid metal and had no restraint systems.
Yeah, that was probably back when they were trying to put independent suspension in cars, and that one guy was like, nope, it's gonna kill people.
Yeah,
it's
expensive. But now you gotta keep in mind though that we pay for that. I mean, a diesel truck, a new diesel truck is like $60,000 now. You know, and back then you could get a new diesel truck for $6,000. So, we pay for all of this safety and technological advancement.
But wasn't that the end of the muscle car era?
79 is widely regarded as being the end of it.
Think about right now.
All that power, no handling.
And 79 was a bad year
to go through your face.
Well, cars all over weren't as safe back then. I mean, they were all made like shit. We think of the old cars like that as like, they were heavy and steel. But you ever seen like where they crash an old car into a new car?
Oh god,
I think there's one that they did. The Crash Institute did where they took an old Bel Air and crashed it into like a new Chevy something, sedan. And you're like, that fucking old one's all steel. It's twice as heavy. Nope, it gets fucking annihilated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they just end up in bit. Well, it's more how people used to drive as well. I remember being a kid.
You could drink back then.
I'd be asleep on the back parcel shelf.
Yeah, we did that too. If you're on a road trip, we used to do that kind of shit.
Yeah, like 17 people in a car. Oh, we'll all get in. Don't worry about it. We're only going up the road.
Oh yeah, when
our American cars though were always so much bigger than yours. Just big, lazy American engines just motoring down the highway.
That was my grandfather's.
Burning our cheap gas.
Had a VW bus, and it had a driver's seat and a passenger seat. Us kids were all getting the fucking back. He called it the tumble bus.
Hell yeah!
He'd take corners like real hard and like make us all like roll around the back.
Yeah, I remember great times when I was a kid when you had the big bench seats and you'd go around corners and I'd slide from side to side, smashing my brother into the door.
Like you had the shitty fake leather and just
the vinyl shit.
I can remember going on a road
go around
trip.
the corners and I just slam into my brother.
Yeah, you tried to. You let yourself go. You've done this.
I can remember going down the freaking interstate on a road trip when I was like 10 years old, laying in the back dashboard of my uncle's big Mercury Marquis, literally laying on the rear dashboard behind the seat. It's like a little bed up there.
What about this though? Who remembers? I can remember like so many '80s trucks, and if you were sitting like in the cab in the front, you were sitting in the middle seat because you're a little kid, and you had to either put your legs to one side or hold them wide so they could do the gear shift. Like they still put the manual transmission and the fucking middle seat.
Oh god!
And I remember somebody having one and be like, "All right, Jake," and I'd grab it and 1, 2, 3, yank that thing back. I thought I was the coolest dude in the world. I'm grinding the shit out of it, but whatever.
And so here's something that not everyone will remember, especially because like even small trucks now are fucking like gigantic. Like mid-size trucks are the size of fucking full-size trucks in the 90s. It's insane. You remember when they first came out with extended cabs? Like when they first started doing them in small trucks, and they had those jumper seats in the back that like pulled out of the fucking door panel.
Oh yeah,
the Rangers had those, didn't they?
Yeah, they were little. Yeah. They were literal jump seats.
They were not safe. Yeah, I remember them.
Yeah. My brother had a Chevy S10 pickup that had
them too. You had to be a kid to get back there. An adult can't get back there.
No. It was. I remember there was another car my grandfather had. It was a Nissan hardbody, and it was an extended cab, and it had those.
They still come in like Ford Rangers and those like Chevy, whatever the fuck they're called now, whatever replaced the S10. They still come in all those trucks.
Yeah. Brent has an old Ford Ranger. I need to look and see if he's got those jump seats in the back.
The Ranger, they haven't made the Ranger for a few years though.
A few years, yeah. But fuck, I think I had one of the last years that they made it, and mine had those things in it.
I hear rumors they're going to come out with one with a turbo 4-banger diesel.
Yeah. They keep
they've got
it's coming back.
They've got one motor. Some places in Europe and Australia and shit, they've got the new Ranger. They've had it for a few years already.
Yeah,
it's actually dope as fuck.
Here in North America, it just became a fleet vehicle.
They all lucked out, dude. The fucking Rangers in other countries are amazing.
Yeah.
We always
Ford Ranger 2018. Let's see what we can find here. Oh, dude, this truck looks cool, man.
Yeah, they're fucking rad.
Yeah, all I can imagine is a new Ford Ranger with the EcoBoost in it and just like it hauling.
Dude, I love my Ford Ranger. That thing I beat the shit out of on a daily basis, and it never fucking broke.
That's what they did. It just went.
Yeah, those things were indestructible, man.
I remember being like 13 or something, and my older friend, the cool older friend, he got his dad's like 1988 or something Ford Ranger, like 4-banger 5-speed. He's like, "You want to learn to drive stick?" I was like, "Okay." He's like, "Don't worry, you can't break this."
And thing. I totally mean that in a child molester way.
No, but, yeah, I remember like we were trying to make the thing fucking squeal the tires, just pinning it and dropping the clutch. It was like it's so shitty and blowed out. It just barely could go.
Dude, here's the ones that are coming out supposedly for 2019, man.
Well, I don't like that bed size because of that size cab. So I hope they have another size. Yeah, but that size cab, you gotta hang the bikes out the back if you're gonna put bikes in it.
Yeah, that's true.
Like honestly, I've always thought the fucking I hate the truck people hate this when you say it, but the fucking Honda Ridgeline is a badass fucking truck. But the bed is just like they got to come up with a longer bed in it.
Yeah, it's that's a good point.
Just, you have to hang the bikes out the back.
Is not a truck.
The Ridgeline. The Ridgeline's features are insane, dude. You have to look at what it is. It's got a trunk in the back. It still has a.
My step-pops has had all of them. Like he gets a new Ridgeline every year, basically since they came out. And fucking, I've driven, I don't know, 4 or 5 of the different ones he's had, and fuck, those trucks are nice.
Yeah,
I don't think they're slow. I think what do they have, a 6 in them, or is it or is it a VTEC?
A VTEC 6 in there or something.
Because I know my mom's she's got like an old one now. I guess it's not old, but it was a 2006 CRV Honda. That was right before they screwed them up. That was back like when the CRV actually had a little bit of ground clearance and was like a proper mini SUV little thing, Then they like turned it into more of a crossover the next year.
3.5 liter V6.
Totally lame. But hers has got a 2.4 VTEC motor in it. The thing hauls ass. Like this isn't a 4-cylinder. Oh, but it is. I think they're like 200 something horse. No, it's a 2.4 liter. VTEC.
That is a good looking truck, but like you said, man, that's a tiny little bed.
Well, you look at it, though, you can see what they could do. Like, I mean, if you don't want to change the overall height of it, they just need to come out with a version with either just a normal cab or a kind of like a half cab, kind of like my F-150's got. That's not terrible. Where it's got the little mini doors in the back,
Yeah.
It's okay. They kind of They do that suicide opening thing. That is terrible, though.
I got spoiled, man. I drove when I drove to the race, I borrowed my buddy's F350.
Yeah, big long box dually.
Oh my god, it was so nice. Like you go down the road and it's just like the thing is so, you would think like, oh, it's this big fucking dually, and it wasn't even new. It's an '02. You're like, oh, it's a big dually. It's gonna be like a bear to drive. Dude, that thing was like sailing down the road like it was on fucking rails.
Yeah.
And like every corner you take, it just like turned flat. It was just like, because it was this big fucking wide profile, like semis were going by you on a 2-lane road. It didn't even move you an inch. I was like, this is the fucking best.
I used to have that exact truck, the 03 with the 7.3 liter in it. Fucking that thing was awesome, man. Love that fucking truck.
Oh, I wanted it so bad. I was spoiled. I was like, I'm buying a dually, and then I'm like, they're like 60 grand. Like if you went out and bought one, even like a base model, you're just like, that's like $50,000 plus. Like, fuck.
I think the new ones aren't they hiked up the price a bit because of all the new emission stuff in the new ones?
Yeah, they're even more now. Now you're looking more like 70, 80.
Yeah, you got to run the what was that fluid they got to put in them?
That fucking fluid. Yeah, that smog fucking suppressing bullshit.
Yeah, they got to put that stuff in there now. Although I heard you can just fill that tank with water if you don't want it.
Yeah. Well, and like there's pretty much every diesel performance company has made delete kits for those things now too.
Yeah. You got to. The worst thing about the whole thing is just the particulate filter itself, man. That thing is a disaster waiting to happen on every diesel truck.
Yeah, I mean, I get them wanting to clean them up, but yeah, I don't know if it's because if it's costing them a lot of money, I don't know. I know that every once in a while down the road from me, I'll see I think it's the same guy. I think he just runs around locally and does like picks up rocks with this truck or something. It's one of those old fucking ones. It's got that. You can tell it's one of those 2-stroke diesels. Sounds insane. I've seen them out on the road with it several times. You know, they sound fucking ridiculous. You know what I'm talking about? Okay. Well, 2-stroke diesels are a thing. They were around in the 70s a bunch, and they sound fucking insane. And yeah, there's one that runs around here. And the black smoke that comes out of the building. Oh well.
I came across something super fucking cool the other day, Jake. You're probably the only person that'll appreciate it. I came across a fucking rotary engine lawnmower. It's fucking awesome.
I literally, dude. No, especially if you can find one of those rotary engines that's side shaft. I want it for a pit bike. If that's a thing. That would be a thing.
I've got it fucking like sitting there collecting shit heap in the back lane right now. I think
did you get it?
Yeah, I think I might do something with it.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, the you might be able to flip it and make it. I guess I don't know if it matters in that thing. I don't know if it's got like a fucking oil pickup in it. All I know, you might be able to rotate that sideways and stick it in a pit bike.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like putting it inside.
Because I want to say that those are like really simplistic as far as like because they're definitely air cooled.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Oh, fuck,
dude, you could make that little thing scream. Probably just have some super high revving little fucking garbage scooter.
I forget the company that makes that motor, but yeah, they made them for a while back in the day. And then
this one's a Bombardier.
Okay, yeah, and then I was reading up on it. Yeah, people say you need to run 2-stroke gas through them. You don't have to, but it's good for them because fucking rotary life, yo. And, I mean, you could probably mix it pretty fucking. You could probably mix like 70-1 or something. You probably don't have to make it crazy, but
yeah, I just literally threw the back lane. Some fucking dude down the street was like clearing out shit.
You probably didn't even know what it was, did he?
He had no idea what it was, and I just looked at it. I was like, "That's a fucking rotary," and I like grabbed the shaft. It still turned, and I was like, "Well, that's good enough for me. I'm gonna throw that."
Some Apex seals, fucking go.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can find parts for it, especially if it's a Bombardier.
Yeah.
They make those in your land, right?
Yeah, they only made rotaries for a very, very short while in like the 70s or 80s. I forget when.
Yeah, there's probably enthusiasts that like get parts for those things.
Yeah, I don't even know what to do with that, but it's going to go on something ridiculous if I can get it running.
You got to find some like rotary guy and like have him like pour it out.
Well, that's what I was thinking. So I got it for free. So I'm like, fuck, if I can get it running, I'll just like
dremel those ports out a little bit.
Dremel the living Christ out of it and see if it
sounds okay. So cool when they're like way over ported. Like they sound they sound like they can barely run.
until they start revving up. Like even the lawnmower versions of them, when you rev them up, like those things rev stupidly high.
Yeah, probably like 5,000-6,000 RPM or something. I want to say
Oh,
most.
more than that. Some
You
of them
think?
some of them will rev like 10 grand. It's retarded.
I know that most of the lawnmowers, the governors, are set right around 3,000 RPMs. If you pull the spring off, you can usually get them up to 4 or 5 before they start floating valves. I don't know if you ever had a lawnmower top end apart. The springs you can compress with your finger, so
Yeah.
it's kind of a natural it just valve floats. It's kind of like a built-in rev limiter. If the spring breaks, yeah, for real, you really can't, because it makes them hard to it makes it actually pretty hard to check the gap on them, because you're trying to push it in there and you're compressing the spring with a feeler gauge. So you got to kind of, it's hard. Well, I was a Craigslist mechanic for a while. Like I worked on a lot of lawnmowers too. It was fucking money.
I really wish I had like shit like B-Rad's equipment hanging out in my shop, because I'd like to build like a fucking bigger scale version of like a nitro RC engine. How awesome that would be. Because those things, dude, when I was like my race cars that I had, those things were revving like 43,000 RPM, like fucking stupid amounts.
And then you add more weight to the piston, and then it blows up.
Yep.
Oh yeah, but still, I'd build it because I
think a lot of the RC engines ran though close to 50,000.
Yeah, like 43,000 was pretty average when you
screaming.
get like ported race engines. Dude, those things were fucking gnarly.
Yeah, I worked up because Traxxas is like in my backyard. It's like right around here. And when I was growing up, the guy who lived down the street from me worked at he was like in charge of sales for the company. So I'd get my shit from him for real cheap, and then he had the whole setup in his garage, and he would, you'd go over there and he'd pull your like I remember the first time, it was funny. I already had a couple Traxxas cars and HPI, and he saw me, he's like, "Fuck those HPIs." And I was like, "Oh, I don't know, man." But he took my Traxxas shit in his garage, put it on his bench, and started fucking, I don't know, changing messing with the sleeve in it and all this other stuff. And he had it where it was just screaming. But yeah, they're big. A good thing they're pretty cheap, because they blow up real fast when you make them rev like that.
Oh yeah, dude. That's how fucking fast they blow. I had a stupid amount of money into one of like my 2 nitro race cars. Like those things were basically rebuild every single race, or it's gonna fucking explode.
Well, there's a company in the paramotor world. We're talking about rotaries again, and they stopped making them. They're called Parajet. They used to make like a rotary Wankel engine for their paramotors, and I guess they got out of it now, and I think they're using like somebody else's motors in their units. But you can go look at this. You can find this video. It's Bear Grylls flying to like the height, like he's flying up to like towards the peak of Mount Everest. He gets higher than it on a paramotor that they built, but it's a fuel. I think it was a fuel injected version they custom built with a supercharger on it, so it would get enough air at that altitude. But yeah, you'd see the thing is easily 3 times heavier than my paramotor on the ground. Like it's hard, it's lumbering. It's hard for him to launch this thing, but it's got so much power that when they actually they barely get to a walk, they just pin the throttle and kind of lean back, and it just goes yoink, and just picks them up and goes. It looks absurd, but yeah, I don't know. I was trying to find one of those when I found that out, because all those bolt patterns are the same. I was like, I'd love to have a rotary engine. That'd be crazy. But alas, they don't make them anymore.
It's too dirty.
They're
too dirty and inefficient.
They said that they're super smooth. Although my motor,
well, except in the tuner world, they're still kind of going strong when you can find them. Like those guys that build like multi-rotor fucking RX-7s and shit. Like, man, those cars are cool.
Man, I looked into it. What it takes to build a 3-rotor is not fucking simple. It is a lot of shit. You gotta get this weird engine from this one car, and it doesn't just bolt in. Like people think, 3-rotors bolt in. It does not.
There's one dude that has a quad rotor RX-7, and like, dude, listening to that thing get on the throttle is the best sound in the fucking universe.
It sounds like hammered shit. It's like,
oh yeah. Then all of a sudden it's just like F1 car out of nowhere, just like like the quickest, sharpest, harshest sounding rev ever.
Imagine keeping that thing, the tires from breaking loose, has got to be almost impossible. Because I want to say those RX-7s have got a really steep power curve when it comes on. It's worse than a 2-stroke on those build ones.
Like I hate tuner cars. I think they're super gay, but that car.
All the Puerto Ricans around here have fucking RX-3s, and they're all like super crazy drag cars. And they all like hang out together, and they roll out in fucking packs. and they're all like they're really fucking cool. They're like these little, they look like these little old shitbox, fucking weird 70s Japanese cars. They all 700 horsepower.
Dude, I want an old Japanese car with the headlights out on the fenders, or not the headlights,
They're like
the
not
mirrors.
fucking old Japanese cars. They're like Econo boxes, but they got the rotary engine in them. So these guys all build them out like fucking insane.
Like a Z28 or something. That'd be cool. I've always wanted one of those.
A Z28? Yeah, that is within your means. You could own a Camaro.
Not a Z28, you know what I mean? A Z.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, what?
Like, oh my god, if I could only have a Camaro.
You get a whole
Jake, you could get a Camaro, like I promise.
You mean the 280?
Yeah, I meant
I know a dude like down the street from you sell you one for like $1,000, man. You can have a Camaro. Like,
Yeah, I know that too. Yeah.
Yeah, my dad had a 77 280Z. It was orange. I'll never forget it. It was a fun car.
They were all orange.
Were they? Okay, yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
Do you know how they came up with the name Datsun? Come on,
No,
someone.
we're gonna find out.
Are we getting into that old ass dad joke?
It is. It's an old dad joke. He says it's like an American guy. He's got to name the company, and he only has one day, and he hasn't named it yet. And he's talking to a Japanese guy, and he says, "How long do you have to name the company?" And he says, "1 day," and he goes, "Datsun."
Oh my god,
That was terrible.
Yeah,
I've
it's
heard that.
very bad.
It's
It
so
was
wrong.
a joke I've heard from multiple fathers. Oh, whatever. I got to tell it now. Datsun. It's a little racist too, isn't it? I guess you're making
Oh,
fun of
God.
him. Oh well.
J-Tree's channel's now shut down.
fucking speaking of Datsun, man, my grandfather who raised me, great dude, loved everybody. He's a World War II veteran. Fought and did the whole thing. He was a Marine. First company into Hiroshima after they dropped the bomb, was in the occupation, did all the island hopping, right? Decorated war veteran. Great guy. Shell shocked as fuck from the war. Didn't have a racist bone in his body. But man, and I guess it's just like you got to say the dude was a product of his times. When my uncle bought a Datsun, a Japanese car, my grandfather fucking disowned him.
Wow.
Like, no fucking joke.
He came back from the war. He was used to those motherfuckers shooting at him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like was like, nope, can't even fucking like can't. And they reconciled later, of course, but like disowned him. But he drove a VW.
Yeah, that is a double standard for you.
That car are literally built for Hitler. Oh,
Yeah, we
yeah.
were just talking about the
Like, I don't
Volkswagen a
know,
minute
dude.
ago. We've come back around. The tumble, what do you
Such-
call it?
such-
The tumble wagon?
Yeah, such is the duality of man. Like,
Yeah, it's,
that's
That
fucking
is-
incredible.
I mean, if you look at obviously the,
Yeah, but
the
those
Japanese
in
were
Japan-
absolutely horrible to their prisoners of war. But if you compare in totality what they did compared to what the Germans did and what the Germans' overall final solution was purported to be or designed to be, yeah, it's definitely a double standard.
Who's got the? No, it's Tim with the fucking 280Z on there.
Yeah, but if you look at those, if you look
This
at like
was
the
the car.
Japanese versions of those cars, Tim, you see where the mirrors are not there; they're on the fucking fender.
Yeah, how about that?
I think they look so much cooler like that.
They do.
You can tell it's like the body line how it was just set up to be. It looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You can tell
more
they
the
just-
second generation. First generation had them closer to the wheels.
Yeah.
They were in front of the windscreen.
I don't think we ever had them like that though in America. I think
Not
they
in
always
America because you
come to
can't
the,
do that. Yeah.
to the door ones, but I'm pretty. Well, I mean, I know guys that import little weird, goofy Japanese cars, and they have cool shit like that. I don't think it. I guess because it's old, it's past that. Was it 25 years or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got some cool shit they're bringing in. I got that. I had that one photo up. It's some kind of Honda pickup truck, and it looks like a something you take to the golf course. I don't know what the fuck it was. I'm gonna have to look it back up, but it's in my Instagram. There's a photo of it. It's funny because it's got a Grom in the back, which then it just makes it all proportionally look correct.
I don't know. You know why we all talk about cars and don't do car builds?
Oh, the Fober's here.
Yo,
Speaking of cars
What's
and
up,
expensive
boys?
builds, yeah, cars are expensive. Bikes are cheap. Like doing a custom car job, like, oh my god, dude, this is fucking insane money compared to doing anything on a bike.
That's for sure.
Unless you're building like any 70s, 80s Chevy with a 350 block in it.
Yeah.
Because then it costs nothing because that shit is everywhere.
No, you're right.
Like build any like 80s Trans Am, Camaro, any of that shit. Cheapest awesome car you can ever build in your life.
That and 4.6s and 302s, man.
And of course, like the trucks and shit too, because they're fucking millions and millions of those everywhere.
I feel like that's why I see everybody doing like edge style Mustangs with a 4.6 in them, man, just because they made so many fucking parts for those things, and because they made fucking many of them. It's like, fucking hey, dude, about 1 billion fucking parts out there for it.
Yeah, it's still pretty cheap for that. I told you I priced that a brand new 2018 just for shits and giggles. I tell you how much it was.
No.
$48,000.
Yeah, dude, that's ridiculous.
I know, but dude, it's 460 horsepower. Just to see what it was, I was like, you know what? I want this, I want that. I was like, $48,000, man. Yeah, that's not happening.
Wow.
There you go, Jake. The ones with the front mounted.
Hell yeah, that's and without that ridiculous bumper too. It's got the
That one's got a kit on it.
I like those fender flares aren't too outrageous. And,
yeah,
that's a cool look. Those things are awesome. Those 260s and 280s, those are beautiful.
Yeah. Costs a lot of money, yeah.
But you watch, it's probably got neons under it or something terrible you don't know about.
Yeah. Big stereo.
Yeah.
The whole back end's just speakers. driven by a 17-year-old.
Yeah. Like, got this from my grandpa when he passed away. Just dropped the clutch and hits the curb and off he goes.
Yeah, I go bowling in it.
They were speaking of 350s and talking about 350s in the side chat and Chevy engines regardless. You guys saw they did that kind of teaser for that Corvette that makes some insane horsepower, whatever they just came out with. It wasn't a Camaro. They did, and like I saw some video and they did this startup, and it's like the most advanced fucking Corvette with the biggest horsepower, blah blah blah. It's supposed to like compete with that whatever stupid thing Dodge did. And
the fucking Demon or
yeah. And I just I look at it like this is the pinnacle. I'm like, man, this thing sounds like the way it starts up and goes through its fast idle sequence, right? Its enriching sequence. I'm like, this sounds like every fucking Chevy V8 I've ever heard in my fucking life. It's like I know dudes with like Chevy 1500 trucks, Silverados that like their truck sounds exactly the same as this like high-speed Corvette. I get some dudes love that, but I'm not a Chevy guy, so I was just listening to him, just like this sounds like my neighbor's shit box.
Yeah, but you know what though? I can say the same thing about what's it called? I was at Cars and Coffee, and I don't even have the EcoBoost version of that, but I do have the Ford 3.5, and there was a Ford GT up there, and while it was idling and revving up just on low revs, I was like, it sounds like my fucking car. It sounds like my car's slightly louder.
I'm just kidding.
Well, I own 2 Fords. I can say whatever I want.
I'm just kidding around. I'm admitting that I'm biased. I'm admitting that.
It's all right. I mean, I just think it's like I don't know. You know that car is so insane, but at the end of the day, you know the bore and the stroke and the firing order is the same thing in your car. And yeah, it's probably got more compression and big turbos and all this other stuff. But otherwise, well, look at this thing.
The base of that engine is what's in my truck.
It actually is, yeah. And your truck, especially if you have the EcoBoost, you know, it's
I do.
It's your truck engine just souped up. I mean, and they even they didn't go overboard with it because they wanted to race it at the 24 Hours Le Mans, and you gotta give it to Ford that they got into the Le Mans racing just because they got pissed off with Ferrari, got into it for a minute way back in the day, kicked ass and left, and come back years later on their anniversary like, hey, let's do it again, and they did it, and they fucking won again. It was ridiculous. That's pretty badass to like think that all that time You got people like Ferrari and all these other people they dump crazy money. Like that's their thing. And Ford's like, we don't always build a supercar, but when we do, it's better than yours.
It's awesome.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
win. Then let's go back
Yeah.
to building trucks. Have fun, guys.
Yeah, well, we make 10 times more money than you guys.
It's like I just love that. It's like Ferrari. Oh, you specialize in supercars? Yeah, maybe we'll dabble with one for a few years here. It's gonna fuck your world up. Sorry about that.
Oh, dude, that new one is fucking sick. The brand new GT that came out. Holy shit, that thing is beautiful.
This one's got track wheels in the back. I really want one
Oh,
of
that's
these.
awesome.
There's a place.
Those things are fucking cool. There's a few of them around here I've seen.
Oh, yeah, there's a place on the road for me. They'll import a lot of Japanese stuff, and they get these in. It's one of my subscribers bought one of these and drives it around. He comes to the meet with his Grom in the back of it. I love too. These bed sides they fold down. And,
that's pretty fucking cool. That's a cool setup, man.
But it's 4-wheel drive. You can take it on quad trails because look at it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you realize from these photos the physical size.
I've seen one an Isuzu or whatever, which is
I think this this body was a bunch of things. I think it's like Honda and a bunch of people have the same truck, basically.
A bunch of fucking Japanese companies made that basically like the exact same thing, but I've seen lots of them lifted with like quad tires and shit on them. Yeah, there's a yellow one right there. There's a guy here that has one that's all lifted with quad tires on it, and it's fucking rad. Oh,
that should give you a little bit of an idea of how little it is, because I mean, look at this dog. Look how he's.
It is a Rottweiler, but yeah.
Yeah, but I'm still. This thing is it's the only photo I can see stand next to it. This guy is
have real tires on it.
That guy's definitely smaller than you, Tim. That's a little man. He is because my nipples come up to the edge of this truck when I stand next to him. They're tiny. They kind of scare me a little, but I want one. Like, if you got in a wreck with this, you're fucked. You're really fucked.
Oh, you're toast.
Like there's no crumple zone. That's the front of the truck where your legs go right there.
But it's a cab over, dude. There's no protection. Yeah.
The protection is just that you're awesome in this tiny little truck.
Yeah.
I'll never have it. I want some other things. I want the like old 60s Econoline version of that truck. Like the Econoline truck from the 60s, is what I'm talking about.
Yep. The fucking the A100.
I'll pull it up so everybody inside knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I just pulled it up. Yeah.
Especially with the four-wheel drive.
But you want the truck version of it? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, like the half van, half truck.
I want to find a 4-wheel drive one because that's what I would want.
Here you go. This will take you anywhere. How about this one? The tracks on that.
Dude, I could have bought. That's like one of my dreams.
Yeah.
You gotta imagine those tracks, how slow that thing has to go down.
Yeah, that's not going to be a touring vehicle.
Looks like the last thing Jack Nicholson's character wrote in The Shining.
Oh, hang on.
Here we go. There's a good one.
Yeah, I could have bought one of those like 2 years ago, Josh.
Oh no.
I'm so fucking bummed. I'm like, the only reason I didn't buy it because I had nowhere to fucking put it or store it. There was one running with the original inline six in it. Still ran like a fucking top. I could have bought this thing for $600, and the only fucking reason I couldn't because I had nowhere to store it. Nobody would let me put that thing in their yard.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember those, Josh.
Yeah, that but God, 4-wheel drive like that is such a cool.
Yeah, man. The A100s, dude. Those things are so sick.
They had
had
a van version of that too, a full van version.
With the 4-wheel drive as well.
I don't know.
Well, I know I've seen the vans, but like I love that truck version.
Yeah, there was the E100 and the A100. The A is the truck one.
How about a Land Rover Discovery? Race car.
This was a gasoline.
Holy fuck!
Yep.
It's like a Pikes Peak racer.
Yeah, it looks pretty smart for a Land Rover Defender.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
That's some work gone into that.
God, I can't imagine how much money it costs to do that.
See, this is a problem with the internet. Once you start searching.
Oh yeah.
Well, you're talking about a Land Rover Defender that's already like a $90,000 fucking Jeep. Like, and then you're gonna do that to it? Like, what the fuck? How much money is that?
I like the plate it's got on it, mud, as if.
Yeah.
That's going to go in the mud.
It's got a winch
Oh
on
yeah,
it too.
I just saw that. It's got...
What the fuck's the point of that?
Fucking hell.
Pretty cool though.
Humor.
I like that. Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah,
We always take so many fucking harsh right turns throughout these streams. They just go all over the goddamn place. It's
I know.
awesome.
Totally random, but cool in its own way.
And weirdly enough, you always end up with porn. Don't know how that happens, but it just does.
Happens with pretty much every internet endeavor.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everything resolves at porn on the internet.
Everyone just goes silent. Deletes their history.
Pretty much. I was just thinking about like the torrent site that I use all the time for Mac specific shit. Their banner ads and like the little sidebar ads and all that shit now, like they're pretty fucking smart about it because all the sidebar and banner ads are for like fucking Pornhub and RedTube and all that shit. So it's like, all right, cool. Now I got to wait a little while for this fucking thing to download. Might as well click this and fucking go. Like that's some good marketing right there. That's smart.
Yeah.
I wonder how long it was from the inception of the internet till like the first kitty that got shared.
Dude, there used to be local bulletin board systems. Remember BBSs?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm trust me, I was there for the inception of the internet. It's like I remember BBSs, and I remember there being movie pictures.
There was a local BBS here in town called Telephone Pole Road. And there were actually two of them. That was one of them, and it had a whole section on it. This is before the World Wide Web, when the internet was in its ultimate infancy for the user, on the user side. And they had a whole section dedicated to porn. And back then it was all like 8-bit GIFs, of photographs that you could tell, yeah, that's probably some kind of a photograph that got 8-bitted,
Yeah. Fuck, I was just talking about this the other day with somebody, and they had no idea what I was talking about. But Tim, you will. Like when the internet, like before websites existed and email and shit, there was only like shit like that. Like all you could do is that and like play like chess and checkers with people.
Yeah,
remember that shit?
And there was Usenet, and there was ARPANET and Usenet. That was where you went for like your interaction, like we're doing now.
Yeah. Now there's two things, so it's like right. I think between the ages of like 28 and 35, you're like the last generation to grow up before the internet. But now there's like two generations of internet, like people who grew up with the infancy of the internet and people who've never known anything but Google.
Yeah.
Those that never had dial-up. Is that what we're talking about?
Oh,
I mean, slow is slow. Like, okay, yeah, the internet was slow, but just the idea of that, like, here is the portal. This is Google. This is the portal. Yeah. Like this is the portal to everything.
Remember Google. Like Google, I remember it didn't even exist. You use Yahoo. Remember using Dogpile? Because Dogpile would search multiple search engines.
I used to use Ask Jeeves.
That was fun. Ask Jeeves. I remember that one.
Oh my god,
that was cool. That was interactive, and that was like the first one you could have fun with. It really had a lot of like sort of Easter eggs in it.
Freaking Ask Jeeves, man. Those were the days. All right, for those of you out there in a side chat who don't know, this is what a bulletin board system used to look like. You would dial up with a dial-up modem, and it would make that classic dialing sound. Like at first it sounded like a phone, then it sounded like Skrillex music for a second.
I was going to say like a fax machine, but then I thought no one would know what a fucking fax machine is.
You don't call the office and you call the fax machine number instead.
Oh, Jesus.
I remember seeing television commercials for Ask Jeeves.
Oh wow! Yeah. What about like
weird
MapQuest?
When you wanted to get like if you wanted AOL, you had to get a CD.
I still say every time.
You got to get that CD. Get the free hours.
You had to but even if you wanted to like get the service to have the service, you had to like go to a store. You're like, I'm gonna go to the store so I can get my internet.
Target or was it Kmart used to have Blue Light was their internet, and you could get the discs.
Oh yeah.
And you can change the registry settings, and you would have free internet as long as you didn't disconnect it. You would have free internet.
Yeah, everybody hacked that
and stuff like that.
You could hack Prodigy too. There was a pretty good Prodigy
Fucking
hack.
And your mom's always like, "Why is the phone always busy?" I don't know.
The worst is when you were like, yeah,
I'm
someone
looking
would
at
call the
8-bit
house.
photos of topless women.
You have to get the internet at night so
Not to
people would
do a
call.
wake callback
It's
on.
only taken me 45 minutes to download one of them.
Yeah.
I still to this day use MapQuest as a verb for any time I look up directions. Like
That's
As a
terrible. 'cause
verb.
it was always terrible.
well, no, I always do it. People are like, oh well, this is the address. It's like, yeah, it's cool. I'll MapQuest it. I'll get
I mean,
it.
it's like I can remember me and my wife. And it's just funny to think of how the times have changed. But I imagine, like 11 years ago, whenever I got married, and me and my wife going like on a honeymoon, and I'm like, I remember going and printing the MapQuest maps.
Exactly. I was gonna say that because you couldn't send them to your phone. You had
Your
to
phone was a flip phone. It didn't do any of that shit.
Yeah, there was no GPS on a
GPSs
phone.
were really expensive back then, and they sucked.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, your phone had a fucking screen like a 1980s Timex watch.
You know,
Yeah,
that
it
one
was
thing about
monochrome.
the phones, though, going back to what we were saying earlier, you could text and drive because it was analog. You could text and drive because you didn't have to look at it. You had those three. You had what, 9 buttons or whatever, 10 buttons.
You had to hit the 3 button 4 times to get a.
Yeah, but because of that, and I was thinking about that. I was like, why was it harder in a way to type back then? But we could text and drive. And I remember that being dangerous because you didn't have to look at the screen at all. You would just glance like every sentence to make sure you got that sentence right. It would might be one letter off.
T9 was so much better. I remember when I got my first iPhone. And I had T9 before that. I was like, this is such a downgrade, dude. T9 is so much better. I wish I wanted to do that. I should have looked that up. I probably forgot how to do it, dude. I could do T9. You never had to look at the phone ever, man. You could do
Napster. They're talking about
I know.
Napster in there.
That little peer-to-peer
LimeWire.
LimeWire, yeah,
What was the
LimeWire
one?
came after.
What was the other one? Kaza? I used to use Kaza too.
Kazaa.
Yeah. And then BearShare.
Yeah,
Share. Oh my God. Yeah, that
They
got
ended that all resulted at the Pirate Bay eventually.
That's right.
I think
Yeah,
eventually,
I
you know who was so
music.
smart back then? It was not only for Apple to come out with a little MP3 player. That's not what made it awesome. It was this time of the piracy because remember all the record companies were going there and they were fucking putting out shit versions of their songs. It would seem right for like 20 seconds. You got so frustrated with that. You're like, dude, I'm just you after you had like 3 Trojans on your computer and you're just like, wait, I can buy the song for 99 cents. Oh fuck! I'll just pay 99 cents, and that's what killed it right there. That's what
Yeah.
So I think that's what made Apple a company today.
If you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. They're fucking like, why pirate it when you can for a small convenience fee?
I mean, think now, like you think of like we all have like a Netflix and this and that, and it's like it's like what $10 a month. Think about it, like if that was in the 90s or something, and they had that same thing, they'd be like, this costs $600 a month, and you'd be like, all right, I guess that makes sense, but it's kind of awesome. It's
Yeah,
like
thinking how much you're trying to calculate in your head how much money you spent at the video store. Like, all right,
yeah, yeah, because it's so much content, and they make their own original content. It's crazy. Yeah, it's
It'd be like Blockbuster making movies.
Well, I can remember first hearing like Netflix is trying to make their own shows, and you're just like,
Yeah, a Blockbuster original.
That's gonna be shit. I think the first few were, and then they figured it out. Yeah.
Fuck, I remember too on dial-up. The most frustrating part of dial-up, because there was no such thing as watching internet porn like movies. It was only pictures.
Right.
So remember, like on those old like dial-up shit, and on old screens, it would load like line by line from the top to the bottom, and it would always freeze and stop right as the titties were about to show. Every fucking time. Like it never failed.
Oh, it's fucking.
Have you ever had some? I've had ones where it's like you think it's the titty about to show, but it's not. It's like their elbow or something weird.
It's sitting there taking like 5 minutes to load this fucking picture, and then all of a sudden it's about to get to the good part, and then no, fuck you.
You can't just walk away and come back because
someone's gonna catch you.
Yeah,
no shit. Like how many times you're trying to like fucking quickly rub one out before somebody walks in the room or some shit because you heard it on the internet because the dial-up sound. So.
Well, Lee, have you ever had to do the you can't close the windows fast enough? They're popping up, and you just have to kill the computer.
Oh yeah! Oh fuck yeah! I did that a bunch of times.
Your mom knows exactly what the fuck is going on. She walks around the corner, it's like, because that's when the computer's made a horrible loud noise like that when you turn it off.
I got caught jerking off some goddamn things thanks to that.
Damn.
Oh, I do not miss that
Only
sound.
do
at
that
all.
in here may not have had to grow
I,
up with
I
that.
remember loading games to that sound off tapes.
Yeah. Oh, off of tapes, off of cassette tapes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a Texas Instruments Model 994A home computer, and you
Yeah.
loaded all your data from and saved all your data to cassette tapes.
Yeah, it's weird.
Tim, I got to go to Texas Instruments on field trips as kids. And that's not far from me.
Yeah, well,
Fucking wild facility, man.
it's here in Midland, Odessa before it moved to Sherman. In fact, we still have the big, giant military-style complex that has nothing in it out there 30 years later.
What was out there?
Texas Instruments.
Oh, it was out there at one
West
point?
Texas. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know.
Okay. I didn't realize that. Yeah. Yeah, dude, it's
No, I had
you get the impression of that when you go to it.
mine was a Commodore 64. I told you that's what I had. I had the 64.
I had that one too. Yeah.
I never got the
I
Nintendo
actually-
64.
No, Commodore.
I know I'm fucking with you.
Dude, I still have it. I have it somewhere in my basement. I didn't throw it away.
I had what
I
was
don't
it, ZX81 computer, the one before the Spectrum.
Wow.
That was fucking up. Well, you had to
England
type,
only.
you had to type code in to play.
I couldn't even tell you what the first few computers we got because they were all work hand-me-downs. But I remember they were black green screen computers that you had to learn
yeah,
that
the fucking
language to
green
use
ones.
them, whatever that was, you know. But I knew I could pull up my games. I had Doom and shit or whatever on there.
Doom was awesome. I remember that.
But you have to do that.
I was just gonna say, fucking like when Windows 95 came out and Doom and Wolfenstein fucking came out. It was like,
yeah, that was
holy
crazy.
shit, that was
Remember, like the floppy
mind-blowing.
disk was actually floppy, that big thing. You conk and stick it in there.
Yeah.
They were like the Apple II
Playing fucking Number Muncher.
games, like Number Muncher and fucking Where in the World's Carmen Sandiego.
Yeah.
We're in the world's Carmen Sandiego. Fuck yeah. Dude. And then, with the computers back then, though, remember they had the big
Oregon
orange,
terminal.
orange power button. There wasn't a shutdown procedure, right? You just kind of turn
You
it
just
off,
fucking
right?
smashed that thing and turned it off and turned it on. They turned on like instantly.
Yeah, because there was nothing it was just there. Yeah. yeah. Because because it took me a while to wrap my head around that growing up. I'm like, hey, you just turn computers off when you want to turn them off. And it was like, I think I was well up into like the late 90s before someone's like, no, Jake, you have to shut them down. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Right.
There's fucking.
I was used to just turning them off.
There's that other game that every player from that area. Well, like what you guys had, it was like called Oregon Trail or some shit.
Yeah, Oregon Trail. You
And
kill
then-
them all. It was
and
fun.
then,
You
like,
used to save
in our-
and kill them all.
In Canada, they fucking like they made that game the exact same thing and just called it Cross Country Canada instead and changed all the city names to Canadian ones. Had that in school.
That's great. That's fucking hilarious. That was my thing to do. You'd come up to a big river, then you'd save the game right beforehand. It'd be like the Mississippi, like, yeah, I think we can just cross it. Just fucking save the family.
Right. No, it's like it's like playing The Sims and putting a bunch of barbecues in your living room. Like you just want to see everybody die.
Send the monsters in.
Oh yeah, fuck. Remember the old first version of The Sims? That was cool.
I was never into The Sims, the one where you play the people. That seemed like
When the
work.
when
That seemed
the first
it seemed like what I was already doing in real life.
I liked SimCity when that came out, but like when the
Yes.
first version of The Sims came out, I was so into it for like a month.
Yeah,
And
people
then
got
kind
into
of
that.
like I've seen everything this game has to offer.
I can't believe that's still.
I don't know. I just like I remember thinking I was like, this is like life. Like I have to I
Yeah.
have to make him go to school and read and eat healthy. Fuck this. And I'd go back to
Boring
SimCity and
as
just.
shit.
All right,
Right,
some
I'm
copper.
going to
you
head
have
out
that.
now, guys. I'm going to bed. I'm fucked.
All right.
Good talking
Good
to you.
night, Fish. Thanks for
Right,
joining us.
Thanks for the invite. Nice
Yeah.
chatting to you guys. I'll speak to you guys soon. Take it easy, yeah?
Good night.
Yep.
Congratulations on the race again.
Hey,
Josh.
thanks, man. I appreciate
No
that.
worries. Take it easy. Have a good one.
Night night.
Well,
Cue
these old-
sound effects.
There's got to be an emulator somewhere to play the original Wolfenstein. I want to fucking find that.
Oh yeah, dude. If you have, in fact, dude, I'll tell you right now. On Wolfenstein 3D for the original Xbox, if you've got that game, at the end of the game, it opens up the original Wolfenstein.
Really?
That's cool.
Yeah,
I've still
Yep,
got the.
I've got it.
Box.
Roller coaster tycoon.
I haven't fired that thing up in a while. I should fucking try that.
I'd like to just try it. I'm sure I get like frustrated and want to like rage quit it immediately because it sucks so bad. but I remember being so into Myst.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like I thought that was like the coolest fucking game. I was just like, it's so
Yeah, they
complex and like the storyline's so great. Like I just remember thinking Myst was such a cool fucking concept.
I was doing a lot of 3D stuff for a job I was working at, and we were using a program called Stratavision 3D. And Stratavision 3D is the program they use to make all the models in Myst, all the 3D models. Yeah, that's old school right there. That's some 90s shit right there.
What a weird short time in video games that was.
I fucking got one.
Because after Myst came out and Myst got really popular, there was like this rash of games in that same vein. And a lot of them were really good. And not so much that like the gameplay was good, just that it was just like you basically had to create beautiful environments and a compelling story. And
yeah,
I always thought that concept was really cool. And it's just like, because it doesn't, like, if your story sucks, like, you've got no game.
I remember some of those stories really creeping me out, like trying to play them. Like they really
100% story based.
Yeah, and some of those stories, I remember like how anxious they'd make you, like, or how like nervous you'd be, like, fuck, this is crazy. It'd be like stressing you out. Shit like that, like Myst and stuff. And it was like not like in a frustrated, you can't win it way, like the story was getting to you, you know?
Yeah. Well, with modern video games, and it is what it is, you know, like when this game is like so flashbang and amazing to play, like who cares about the story? It's secondary because the game is fucking awesome. But when you're forced to like the draw is the story, you're really forced to create something really cool.
Yeah, when you don't have a multiplayer, you just have to base it on the game if they put more into it.
Now, who does that really well is Telltale. I don't know if you guys have played any of the Telltale games. They did like The Wolf Among Us. They do all the Walking Dead games, and they're just like very much just like point and click, like decision based games. Nobody.
I'm aware of them. I like isn't the yeah. I know what they are. Yeah.
Anyway, they're. I mean, I get why a lot of people wouldn't have played them, but. And they look like they'd be really lame. They're fucking amazing.
Yeah, don't some of them have like a really cartoony looking like?
They're all cell shade.
Yeah. That's a neat look.
Cell shaded.
But they're really the storytelling and in them is all fucking amazing. And even like because they do a lot of licensed material, like they do Game of Thrones, they did Guardians of the Galaxy one, they did like a Borderlands one. But the storytelling in them is fucking phenomenal. Like they've got really great writers, and it reminds me a lot of Myst. This is boring. I don't know why I'm talking about this, but it reminds me a lot of Myst. That was my essential point.
Well, there's a conversation kind of halfway going on over in the side chat about the Scum Engine games. Do you guys remember those? Like Manic Mansion and Day of the Tentacle and Salmon Max Hit the Road. All those ones, Monkey Island and all that. Those were fun games.
I loved Monkey Island.
Leisure Suit Larry was another one.
Yeah.
Those were fun games. I'd like to be able to.
Well, half of us in this panel, though. Oh, fuck, he left. Well, that fucks out. I was going to say half of us in this panel live where it's south enough that it's unusually warm still. I was wondering if you northern guys are having snow or anything ridiculous yet.
Yeah, we kind of talked about that before you showed up.
Oh, are they?
B-Rad can reiterate if he chooses to.
I think he's
pretty nice out.
Oh. It's absurdly nice out. Sometimes I get concerned about that.
Don't be concerned.
What's going on? No, I just want the fucking bugs to die. I really want to have a.
Yeah, that's the one thing, man.
Winter.
Yeah, I just don't want it to happen this weekend because I'm going on
right
this weekend. I'm doing an overnight trip this weekend, so I don't want bad weather.
Oh man,
Tim, going down to Alpine.
Tim, we need to come out there and we need to go do things someday.
I'm telling you. All right, well, let's figure it out in the spring. Come out and we'll do a border ride. We'll ride down to the Mexican border. Build a
I'll ride that all the way out there. I don't care. I want to get a different seat for it, but I'll do it. I just want to get like a cover or something for it. Something that's a little not as I don't like how it goes real narrow in the front. You know.
You can't get that thing in the back of your truck.
I can. Why the fuck would I do? Let's ride it. Fuck it. Motorcycle, for fuck's sakes. Can it get there itself? I was going to my brother's house, and I was just sitting there cruising at like 100, 110 on it. And then I had this weird moment from it. I was like, is this bad for it? I was like, I guess it's not a single cylinder supermoto. It's probably fine. And I just kept going.
So that's an understressed engine, man.
I really think it is.
Most parallel twins, they understress them.
Yeah.
The double decker bus was badass for those of you who was it asked me? Oh, Harley Rider 283 asked me. Yeah, it was awesome. That's going to be in an episode of Tim Kreitz Adventures in December because they're having this big event around the double decker bus. I meant to talk about that when Fish was here. Dang it. Because it's an English double decker bus and they turn it into a restaurant and they go all over town with it. It's awesome. It's got the kitchen downstairs and the dining room upstairs. And it's a 1961 English double decker bus.
I guess it doesn't have a basement.
Yeah.
Jokes.
That's funny. Hilarious. Yeah.
This is awesome.
Oh, are you playing Wolfenstein?
Yeah.
Where did you get it? Where did you download it?
I just typed in fucking emulator or Wolfenstein emulator and it popped up first thing.
On Macintosh?
Yep.
Are you playing it in the browser window?
Yeah, I'm playing it literally on like some Flash player shit.
Share it.
It's fucking fantastic. I remember all the controls. Well, there was only like 2 of them.
Do you remember all of the cheat codes?
Yeah, my keyboard doesn't work.
Oh, and there was all those cool like secret passageways and shit.
Oh yeah, you get lost so easy because every room and every hallway looks exactly the same.
They all look literally the exact same. Yeah.
You have to count your steps and your movements so that you don't get all effed up.
I forget where all the cool little hidden rooms were.
This is unusual.
Yeah,
Maybe it's dead.
Rooms are usually in the corners, like you'll see.
Here we go. Sorry, guys, I'm freaking out.
And like you couldn't tell which doors would open and which ones wouldn't. You just walk up to them and they'd open, but the exact same door would not do the same thing. Like
right
3 feet away.
Then you have to find a German Shepherd.
Oh, here's a Hitler painting. I know there's something. I remember that. There's a secret passageway.
Yeah, the Hitler paintings are something. Yeah, and then there's the some of the crosses are one, like the iron crosses, the Maltese cross.
Yeah,
I think is something. Yeah,
Maltese cross. Is that like a chocolate bar? What is a Maltese?
Yeah,
like a candy bar?
Yeah, it's a very popular World War II German chocolate bar.
Yeah.
Man, killing Jews takes energy. You got to have your chocolate.
Maltese cross. That did sound like candy that Jake said something.
So like,
cross.
Because did Wolfenstein make Doom, or was he just like helped out with it or something? Because I remember Doom 2 is like mixed in with some of the Wolfenstein stuff. Like if you go to the end, it keeps going, and it's like you have these weird levels that
wasn't it like the same programmers or something.
I think it was. I don't know. They look a lot alike. They were fun.
Now, everybody's playing Wolfenstein 3D on the panel, except and not talking.
Yeah.
Just get real quiet, and you'll just hear the German guys screaming at you in the background, and the dog growling.
Well, once again, I remember after Doom, there was a bunch of Wolfenstein, I guess, or after Doom and Wolfenstein, there was a bunch of knockoffs that were like the same fucking game. What was it? It was Heretic, I think it was. This is when you used to buy fucking computer games at CompUSA.
Oh, CompUSA.
And they had a computer game.
I bought my very first Macintosh that I bought for myself at home at CompUSA. Actually, the second and the third as well. They used to be in the mall. They always used to be in the mall.
Can you even buy a computer game at a store anymore? Like no computer games.
Best Buy.
Do they exist? Like what are they? They're not CDs.
I don't know the answer to that, but I know they have them at Best Buy.
So what? I mean, is it just like a verification code inside a box?
Have no idea.
Exactly what it is.
Is it really?
Yeah, unless you're buying like a hard copy, like for like an Xbox or some shit. A lot of the times,
What is
that.
Lee,
What?
What is it? You said what is it in the box in the computer game?
Oh no, like unless you're buying like a like a hard copy like Xbox or PlayStation game or some shit. A lot of those games are just online based now, so you just go and fucking get some code. And...
Right. That's what I'm saying. I don't think can you still buy like a computer game?
Oh, I don't even know.
Yeah, but what like so you can buy one, but what does it come on? Like
I think like
Also,
well,
like,
it's all
the
these
real life
online
internet.
and shit. It's like getting an iTunes gift card kind of shit. I know that's what it's like for like Warcraft and that kind of crap. Let's see those.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is it just like a verification code inside a box? Is it like a USB drive? Like, is it? I mean, they don't come on CDs. It have to come on like 30 CDs or something like that. To fucking, there's no way.
Yeah,
It's a CD.
you just go get the code and then download it off the fucking internet. And... Oh, I got killed.
Here, let's
We're getting conflicting here. Like some
let's
people, are like,
search
some
together.
people are saying yes, it's just the code, and some people are saying it's still CDs.
Let's see. Video games for PC. Let's see what Best Buy has to
It's
offer.
definitely not CDs because most fucking computers don't even have a fucking disk drive on them anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like so many computers don't have.
Yeah, you just buy like an access key or something for them.
Yeah, that's literally all you do.
Like I would assume, like maybe it's a USB.
Like there's literally no reason to actually put this in a cart and buy. You just.
Oh look, they actually to incentivize you buying from the store, they give you a toy when you buy the video game. Look at this for the Doom Collector's Edition.
Well, that is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what that thing is, but it looks like something that my child would love to play with.
Yeah, let's look at the Doom Collector's Edition. All right, for $119, you get.
Oh, that's a Bone Man. She would love that. She'd be like, "Look at my Bone Man." She's like she's got all these like creepy Halloween decorations. It's just her toys now, and she's like loves them. It's just not creepy to her. She doesn't get it, you know.
It includes the Doom video game, a metal case, and the Revenant statue.
It says it's got the video game in it.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
See if it says something like if it requires like system requirements, disk drive or something like that, and whatever.
Yeah, I bet it's just a code. Like, what could possibly be in that box?
Go look up an unboxing.
What's in the box, man?
Yeah, oh, I bet there is one. There's got to be a Doom Collector's Edition unboxing. Oh yeah, here we go. Let's go to YouTube. All right, let's see.
Yeah, look at the collector's edition one.
Yeah, collector's edition unboxing. I gotta know what's in there, man.
Oh, a whole room full of German Shepherds.
Collector's edition unboxing. There it is. It's a search term. Let's see what we find here.
Oh, look at these dinguses.
There it is.
That's
one
it.
with one with Boogie in there doing it. I kind of want to see the one with Boogie doing it now.
Oh man, it's forcing me to watch this stupid ad.
You know what? Josh should be getting revenue money for this.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, you know what I'm probably gonna do is get a copyright strike for it.
For the ad, yeah.
I don't care. Fucking live streams only make like $2 anyway. So.
As long as you acknowledge them, you don't have to do anything. It doesn't matter.
Oh no, I'll just let them have it. I'm like, take my
exactly. Yeah,
revenue.
It's fine. Look at these guys. This is all they have to live for. This guy can't wait to fucking open it. Calm down, dude.
Oh, it is CDs.
Holy shit!
Look at that.
No way.
CDs.
Tim, do you have this in normal speed?
Yeah, it's in normal speed. Is it all crazy?
Look at him. It just looks
all happy.
It looks so frantic to me. I don't know if it's just how it's playing because I'm watching you watch it.
Face, man. What time? Jesus
Christ. Look at these guys, man. Look at the schnoz on this character right here, man.
Hey, that guy's getting laid tonight.
It's like he looks like IGN.
He looks like Bird Person on Rick and Morty.
That fucking bald dude looks like the highest person I've ever seen in my life.
I bet he's high. Look at him. He's on the sativa. No, it's probably indica.
Yeah, get this.
Here's the toy.
Here. This is what we really want to see.
He's like, I get it first.
We want to see the toy. $120 for this. The game and the toy and whatever that other thing is that comes with it. Take the freaking cellophane off.
No, it's too much. They have to. It's like dun, 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 dun. They only get to take the plastic off once, Tim. Let them build up to it.
Look at them
They
all
only have one
excited.
camera, so there are no close-ups.
It makes it,
Oh, there it is.
Tim, you just got
this
fucking
makes
owned.
it so much more sad to see these two grown-ass men like fucking like all excited over this fucking.
There's probably some
And what's
watching
worse is we're watching it.
it. Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. So that answered the question.
It's numbered. It's numbered.
CDs. It's a CD and the toy, and then whatever that other deal was.
Fucking YouTube saved the day. That
Yeah,
bastard.
everything's on YouTube.
I wanted to be,
Everything.
I'm not gonna lie, I wanted it to be just a code. I didn't want there to be CD in there.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be like so ridiculous that like someone would still buy it in the store, that they're just like, you idiot, here's a code to download it online, you fucking moron.
Well, some of that shit, because some of the games, like they're all pretty much like that now. Where it's like, I guess in modern days, if you let's say you live in the middle of fucking nowhere and you just don't have proper internet where you can like stream games or do things like that, I think you're just kind of fucked because all the games are really built for online now. Even just to buy them, you have to basically, at least from what I've seen on the Xbox One now, you get a game and it's like it puts like 2% of the game on your computer, then it has to go online and download all of it or whatever, right?
I don't really. I wish I had more time to play video games. I'd like to, but
I never do, so it doesn't matter to me either. But that's how it is now, right?
But even like I was always just like Xbox. I never had a computer that could do video games. But even on Xbox now, like you download everything, like all these new games.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Like, why would you wait in line at a store? You can download them all.
Well, I want to say my Xbox One, which I don't think I've turned on in like almost 2 years, is
My girlfriend uses it as a DVD player to watch her workout DVD.
Yeah. There is people use it for that, but I always have to make sure, like, if they're doing that, they don't actually try to log in online because it's going to try to update for like 3 hours since I never actually get online with it. I think I've just unplugged the Ethernet cable to it at this point. But anyway, because I want to say I can only put. I didn't even play it that much. I might have like 7 or 8 games for it. I don't think I can put any more games on it. I'd have to delete one. You know what I'm saying? Like that's it. That's fucked. And I remember like thinking back in the day when you had like just a regular old school Nintendo. Yeah, but you used to go buy the games used. You'd trade them in and out, but you would you'd go through that console was like a biggest slut. It had so many fucking games went through it. You just pounding those things in there, and it was fine. It was great. Bye, B-Rad.
Nope, B-Rad, we lost him.
Yeah, he left.
The blizzard finally hit.
I don't know. It's a different time. I guess games are a lot different now too, where they're really like there's a lot to them, but I don't know. It's a different way of going about it.
I'd like to play video games. So there's a bunch I want to play. Like I still want to play like the games that first came out for Xbox. Like I want to play Witcher 3 and fucking Fallout. Like all these games that came out like years ago. I'm just like, no, those. But it's like, I've been waiting so long to play these games. Like I'm still like all on about playing games that came out like fucking 3 years ago.
No, I still want to play Fallout 4. Still haven't played it.
I actually have Fallout 4, and I fucking want to sit down and play it. But then I just say, like, dude, I sit down, like, I might have like 20 minutes, a half hour to sit down and play video games like that I have free. And I'm like, what am I gonna do in Fallout 4? Like, walk to the next town?
Not even.
20
minutes. It takes a lot longer than 20 minutes to do that sometimes.
That's just like fuck, dude. I can't.
That game is fucking huge.
It fucking sucks.
Actually, like Elder Scrolls. Elder Scrolls is retarded how big that game is.
Yep.
So is Wolfenstein apparently. I forgot how fucking big these levels were.
Does anyone still play that one game? I know people were all obsessed with it. What's the one? World of Warcraft. That's pretty huge, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's still real big.
Which is like what a lot of games.
Dang, what the hell is that?
That's basically what a lot of games like.
You hear that?
Shit is.
Yeah.
Yeah, very loudly.
It's my penis.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's a fucking Allen wrench. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, like shit like Elder Scrolls is the exact same fucking thing what Warcraft was now. Like to a T. Like the way that it works online and shit and the whole gameplay scenario. Totally the same shit. Except it's more like first person.
The last video game I played, like really played, like got into and like finished it and did all the download content was fucking Borderlands.
Oh yeah.
I had so much fun playing Borderlands. I always thought that was like the coolest mix of like role playing game style and fucking first person shooter. They did such a good job with that.
I definitely did that with Fallout, with the newest one.
Where you like played like every part of it.
Yeah, I played the whole thing, and then I made different characters and had different factions and shit. Then I did all the DLC and
yeah. No, I did that with Borderlands.
I had the plan to do that with Elder Scrolls, but dude, you'd need 20 years to do that. It's fucking retarded how much shit there is to do in that game.
GoldenEye for Nintendo 64. Hell yeah. Like I just commented that in there. That was a good one. I remember going to and playing on like when a real big screen was a projector TV and playing GoldenEye with 4 players.
Oh yeah.
You know what game I wore the fuck out on N64? It was like the most unassuming game, but it had so much content and so much stuff to do. Was Pilot Wings.
I don't think I knew about that one.
I remember that.
It was a Nintendo licensed game, so like Mario, fucking shit like that. It was a Nintendo licensed game. It was called Pilot Wings, and it was just like all these flying things, like where you just like you had to fly and all these. Anyway, it doesn't fucking matter. But
Jesus Christ, Jake!
Can y'all hear that? I'm sorry, dude.
yeah, no,
sorry.
it was
I think what it is because I have it sitting on the table. Yeah, it's echoing through the mic. My bad. I'm like, what for me? I think it's louder for y'all than it is for me because I barely hear that.
way louder.
It's pretty loud.
What is it anyway? What did you
It's
say?
an Allen wrench. I'm just rolling around the desk. The thing I was doing a minute ago, I was letting it fall and doing this. How was it? It's like, yeah, that's actually pretty loud.
Yeah.
So enjoyable.
It's kind of satisfying to me.
Weather's looking good, man.
I had a weird satisfying moment the other day. I have to watch both my dogs together because the little one's a lunatic, and if he's in there with the bigger dog and he's not acting like an asshole, he'll just kind of deal with it. I don't think I've given him a fucking bath in like 2 or 3 months. Just forgot, got busy. The water turned so yellow almost instantly bathing them. I was like, it's kind of satisfying in a way, I was like, that's good. That's nice.
Dogs are so clean.
Like the water's so dirty, because I always take a cup in there and you scrub them all down, right? You get all the soap on them and you kind of use the cup to wet them and you kind of use the cup to rinse the water, on them. And I was just scooping up this yellowy water trying to rinse them off. I was like, this isn't going to work. So I just, I pushed them underneath the faucet. I cleaned their face off, but then pushed their bodies under the running faucet. I got the water good, just held them underneath it, kind of scrubbed them down. They didn't appreciate it, but they put up with it because, I'll fucking kill them if they don't. And they know that about me.
It's fucking annoying because when you like clean your dog, you look at it like, man, this dog is fucking clean as fuck. Like it's really looks great.
Yeah, their coats are all shiny and soft. They're just gonna fuck them up.
Yeah, and then you're just like, you look at the dog and the dog's just pissed. You're like, man, fuck you.
After I got done drying and I got them real dry. Because you got to get them real dry before you let them outside, or they'll just plow their wet body.
Ruin it immediately. And
so I get them all nice and dry.
One grateful piece of shit.
And the first things they did, like literally the first things they both did, I let them outside like 2-3 hours later, all dried off. They both were out there and took a big shit and then rolled in the grass. I was like, man, fuck you dogs.
That's what they do. They're dogs.
Does anyone remember how to open the secret passageways in Wolfenstein? Because I'm fucking trying to figure this out right now.
Isn't there something isn't it a waterfall in the corner or something?
I don't know. I know it's always
like any waterfalls.
No, I keep trying to interact with all this random shit I'm finding. But it's not working.
We're just talking about all kinds of shit. The dudes in here just put up Mighty Ducks.
Man, Mighty Ducks, dude. They made so many little kids want to play hockey.
Yeah, we already were, but we were playing it like we do in Texas, which was always just street hockey, and most of the time wasn't even with fucking rollerblades, but usually was.
We played so much hockey, and it was like no rollerblades; it was just like running around.
Yeah, that's what we did a lot of that.
It was basically field hockey, but like
but on the concrete, so you can fall.
Because nobody could afford rollerblades or anything like
Well, but I can remember. I can't remember though playing with rollerblades a lot, and I always remember like the goalies. You build your goal out of whatever, and the goalie was always like somebody who had like somebody's older brother was a catcher for baseball, and they stole all that gear because it works enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Look for
'cause they-
objects between the plants.
Objects between the plants.
Yeah,
And
so
that-
if there's an object hanging on the wall and it's between two plants in planters, that's a good.
Do I have to press a button?
Game on. Dude, for real, I remember that car.
There's two buttons here that I don't know what the fuck they do.
Yeah, definitely. Street hockey was just full contact. We were stupid little kids. Yeah, that's how you played.
Because there's like the one button to open doors, and then there's another button that does literally nothing.
Because there's no 100% reliable visual trick to detecting secret doors. The only way is to just actually try to open everything you see that you think might be a secret door. Yeah, it's all coming back to me now.
Yeah, they're talking about that. I want to talk to you about other things because I don't know.
God, this is awesome.
But
that's all right. I got to run anyway because it's getting late and also my battery's going dead on my headset.
That last comment.
The last one that just came up right now, yes.
Yeah.
Dang. J-Squad with the zing-a-ling.
I didn't do it.
All right, boys. I'm out of here. Thanks for hosting, Josh.
No problem, man. We'll
All right, and I'll see you guys next week, if not before. Later.
Later, man.
Man, I feel like we played I remember not just playing street hockey, but like we played all the sports in the street. Obviously, you play basketball on the street because that's how you play it. You know, I can remember playing a lot of street football, which made no sense because we had fields everywhere, but we just played it in the street, which is just a guaranteed way of getting hurt. But we did a lot of that.
In the plants.
So much football as a kid, and then like I don't know how we get fucked up because we just tackle each other with no helmet, no nothing on. I'm like,
you play like on little kid leagues though, right? Like you play like actual like teams, right?
I played it in high school.
Oh, okay. So I've only ever played like football, just playing with friends. You know, play a lot of basketball though. I can also very distinctly remember us like standing in the middle of the street and someone pitching me a ball while I was holding a baseball bat, like just parked cars all over the place. I don't know what the fuck we think was going to happen. It never ended well.
I know. I fucking played a lot of sports in high school. I was a total fucking jock. A double letter jacket, fucking for the whole fucking time. I was on the swim team too. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to work. I never did any of that.
Football team, fucking. I don't know. And then like Lee said, discovered weed and pussy. And I was like, this shit sucks. So.
My school I went to was such like a big school. I think they played I think they were playing like 5A ball. Now they play like 6A or something ridiculous. Like I think I just knew it was like there's almost no chance of me actually getting to play any of these sports. Like I liked playing. I loved playing like basketball, for instance. But I mean, when you go to a school with like as many kids as I went to, even if you're 6 foot, that you're very short. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I stopped playing, man. Is like freshman, sophomore year, it's fine, but like junior, senior year, like all these other dudes kept getting taller, and like eventually, like senior year, like varsity football, you're like, dude, motherfuckers are like already 6'6".
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, like the seniors have like fucking beards and they resemble a 28-year-old man basically.
Were like the same height as you freshman year, and like everybody was playing football, like they're like giants senior year. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Those
they did.
guys who go off to play college ball, like I could like. I don't care how good you are at football. If you're like 6 foot tall, like you ain't doing nothing. You can be the best football player on the planet. That you're done. Like you're not gonna fucking do it.
Yeah. Well, I remember like I said, I liked basketball, and you start trying to play with the high school kids, and at 6 foot, you just absolutely stay away from the paint. You're just way too short to get up there and do anything. And so I remember I got kind of good. I had okay fadeaway shot, but it was still a useless attempt. It was like, fuck this, it's not gonna work. Give up. I did.
No,
I also
I
had,
gave
I
up.
also
Yeah,
had to
no,
work.
I said that I gave up on sports. Literally, I've given up on sports until now, until I got like back into riding dirt bikes. I'm just like sports are cool.
I'd love to get into something, even just to get into some shape or something, but man, it's hard. It's hard right now because the wife is fully grabbed a job, so it's just, no, there's no such thing as free time. I
I
should
was
be
always
doing stuff right now. I've
I
taken
was
a
always an
pause.
endurance guy, man. That's what is kind of cool about the hair scramble and the enduro shit is that it's the endurance thing is not it's cool because it's not about how fucking good you are. It's not like motocross where it's like you have to be like 110% for 20 minutes, like on top of your game, like riding on the bloody edge. You know,
Yeah.
it's literally like, how dumb are you to keep on going for this? If you're just stupid enough to just go for the really long time, like you can do
I
it.
think I'd get out of breath real fast doing that right now. I don't think I've got good endurance right now. I think it would beat the shit out of me really bad. And I mean, like, I don't know. Like I remember for a while there, especially like when like before, basically right before I had a kid, I was going out to the trail like all the time. I was riding the trails like 2 or 3 times a week, and that's a mega workout just riding those trails.
Yeah.
I mean, your fucking heart's pounding, you're sweating like crazy. It's a better workout than I'd get from actually working out. So
That's the only thing I've been doing. I've been losing weight like crazy.
yeah, yeah.
Well, you got. I mean, we get when I go out there. Like, I mean, I push it hard. It's not. We don't. I don't pleasure ride. Like, not to sound like a hard ass or anything, but I just.
No, I mean, I
hard as
understand. I'll get out there, and if it's especially if it's just me, if I don't have people that are following me, because it's usually the other way. When I got people following me, they I don't know. I'm not good. Everyone always ends up crashing though.
I'm not good either, but you know, just push it to 100% of what my ability is.
Yeah.
Which is like.
I can remember last time I took a bunch of guys down by the lake, and it's like you keep having it where you have to go down like little steep walls, but they're not bad. It's just like, oh, just ride down them. Just don't hit your brakes. We're all talking on the communicators, and it's happened like 3 different times where all I hear on the communicator is like, oh shit. Turn around. It's like bike's just falling down the wall. It's like, what did I say to do? No, I hit the brakes. What did you just ride down it? It's fine. It's fine. But everyone's, I don't know. I also have several times now where I've taken people out there and they're in supermoto trim and then my bike's in dual sport or dirt trim, and that's not fair. Then that sucks because you could be really shitty and they could be really good, but if they're in supermoto trim, just like
You're gonna be better.
you just like, all right, fuck off. I'm gonna, yeah, you can, because your front wheel actually is not just gonna wash out when you go into a turn, and that's the thing with the supermoto setup. You have to go through those dirt turns almost just upright, or you have to be insanely committed. Which is hard to do. You know what I'm saying? You have to like just absolutely go through
I
it.
can't imagine how it would do anything. It's just the front tire is so wide. Like it's
You know what it does if
right
it's
up.
really bad too, because all the little trails around here we ride on, like quads and stuff go down them all the time too. And so they rut it up, they put these little ruts in there, and the supermoto tires, they want to grab those ruts and just get yanked all around. And it's a very unsettling feeling because your front end is just all over the fucking place and it's constantly trying to wash out. You'd be going down a straight trail and it grabs a rut and tries to wash out on you. It's kind of terrifying actually. Where even if you have dual sport tires on, but if you have a 21-inch front rim, it's like no problem. Does your bike have a 19 or an 18 rear?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, the WR has an 18, but I mean, that's obvious. Lee, maybe you know this. I've always wondered that. Why is the trail bikes run 18s and the motocross run 19?
I honestly have no fucking idea.
I don't think it even makes a big difference, at least in the trail specs. I don't know if running an 18 on the MX track would be bad, but I know every time I've jumped on a bike with a 19 or in the trails, I don't notice a difference.
Yeah, like it obviously changes ratios and shit, but I mean, you can do that with gearing too. So
yeah, but I'm saying I don't think.
I'm
just saying, like, does the bike handle much different with a slightly bigger wheel?
I have no fucking clue.
Does the 18 do something for trail? Maybe people in the comments will know.
What's this in front of me?
Oh,
fuck you.
You're playing video games.
Yeah, I'm Wolfenstein. It's so hard right now.
We just got a woman over.
This is pure fucking 8-bit radness going on right now.
Massive. Yeah, well, you know Forey, but tell me why. Can I invite him in here?
Because he said so.
I'll send him the link. You can come in here and tell me with your own mouth because I don't fucking know. Do you care, Josh?
You gun.
No, I don't care. I'm not much longer for this world anyway.
Okay. 18 gives bigger sidewall for tires. I don't know. Ford can actually ride a dirt bike. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
Like I heard him say he could once or twice. I was like, shut the fuck up. You. And then I've seen some videos and I was like, oh, okay.
He's Australian. Australians are fucking dope at riding dirt bikes.
That is true. Let's find out we're pretty good at that. What gearing do I have on WR? I don't know. For both street runs, I don't know. I try to actually run a 13 front because I want to run the case saver. So it means if I wanted to actually be decent on the street, I got to run like a 40 rear or something, or like a 39. Like it's a small fucking rear sprocket. You have to usually order one and wait because that's a little sprocket. It's not a normal size at all.
Later, Taz. Taz, good people, man. He's a good dude. He's up at the bar. He came and rode with us yesterday. He's fucking on point. Has some good video ideas.
Maybe 40's at work or something.
You ever talk to
bastard.
some people and they've got like the worst video ideas? Like you get it. Like I get that all the time. Someone will come into the bar, and especially people like that I've known for a really long time. Like I've known like before I did videos. I've known them forever. You know what I mean? They've always got the worst video ideas.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, because they do. They want to help you out. Like I always get this people
pure.
like
It's pure.
they really think they're onto something, and they'll tell you something that's so like.
But it's the worst.
I've heard where people are like, you know what you should do? You should start like reviewing like motorcycle gear. Yeah, nice. Yeah,
but feel free to buy me a bunch.
Yeah, or they're like, you know what you should do, man? You should like. You know, I'm trying to think some shit people have told me. Sometimes it's stuff that's been done a million times.
My buddy Erm was like, fucking, and Erm is a good dude, but anyway, he just goes like, man, you should do a video on me because I fucking party all the time, and we'll make the video, and the beginning it'll be like, normal people get up when the sun comes up, but I'll get up when the moon comes up.
You know what though? You know what? You could make this a cool video if
he
you
like steps back and like crosses his arm and looks at me. He's like, "Yeah, that's what's up." And I'm just like, "Well, Erm, that's like 5 seconds of the video. Like, what's the rest?" And he's just like, "Nah." And now he's like, "Nah, you didn't hear me." Like, when the moon comes up.
Like, what are you gonna turn into a fucking werewolf or something? Because that's the only interesting thing about that.
Yeah, and I'm just like, all right. And he's like, yeah, it's gonna be dope, man. Let's do this. I was like, you don't understand how to make a video.
That's less annoying than the people that like have ideas for you to do totally outlandish shit that's just like not possible.
Well, it's just people who don't understand what it takes to make a video who like have this idea. Like I get this all the time where it's like, you need to make a video and it's about this guy who's like traveling across the country, and then you'll like videotape him doing that, and then they'll like lay out all this shit. And I'm just like, well, that video would cost thousands of dollars to make and probably weeks of my life. And like, what do you think we're just gonna like do this in an afternoon? Like, yeah, I've got a job, motherfucker.
Like, dude, so many people are like, fucking, you gotta do a video on a snow bike. Like, you should like do a snow bike build and then do a video on the sno bike. I'm like, yeah, you got 25 grand fucking laying around for you to make that video? Like,
yeah, there's a lot of ideas of the money stuff. There's definitely like, yeah, I've had a lot of times where people are telling me I needed to build one. I need to build a snow bike to ride it across a lake. Like, okay, again, the same, like just for one thing.
Yeah, no shit. Like, every time I bring up that I'm like hurting to do like content or something, like, oh, just do it, like start doing snowmobile vlogs or just start doing snow bike vlogs. Like, yeah, we're talking 20 grand here. I'm just gonna start doing that. You fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, Jesus.
There's a lot of like I get a lot of stuff where like, you and Dan should just like ride across the country together and make videos. I'm like, yeah, all right, you know, fuck my family and everything else. Like,
yeah.
Sorry, wife and kid. All right, and by the way, let me also come up with some money to pay a camera crew to film this, and I have to pay some editors to edit it because I'm going to be busy running around the fucking world. Obviously, I don't have time for that. It's ridiculous.
It still cracks me up, man, when I hear him. Anyway, the whole point of that story was like Taz Rides, which is his name is Jesse. Actually had like a bunch of really cool ideas for videos, like as we were going out, not for videos, but like for things to do. Like we were going out, and he, like as we were going, he's like, "Well, why don't you try this out?" Not like telling me, but like it'd be funny if this happened. Like, and they were all like really good ideas. I was like, "Holy shit!"
Thank you. But this one, I think I've had like someone tell me this just like straight up, which is great. They're like, you know what you should do? You should do a video with like, he described it like this, something like you do a video where like you get some kind of communicators. This is somebody who doesn't even ride, right? They're like, and you talk to your friend, and then he's talking to you, and you're both riding around, and then you videotape it. I'm like, yeah, that's a thing that's been around. Technically, I invented that. Thank you, though. But yeah, that's great. Or I've had where people are like, you should do like a question and answer thing. That'd be really cool. I bet no one's done that. Like,
fucking long way around motovlogger edition. That's a fucking glorious idea. That'd be a lot shorter of a series than they did it though, because most of us can actually ride off road.
Oh man.
Those guys were like, I fucking love that show. Like, I still watch it every.
I think what's his name though wasn't terrible. Borman, right? Charlie. I think it was Ewan that was really. Smart,
he was still pretty bad.
I feel like they also, you know, and it's hard to say. Looking at it, did seem like they. I know you're going around the fucking world, but they still had a support. Did they need all that shit on the bikes? It just seemed like they're a little over encumbered.
Yeah, no, they were a little. Well, I don't know. They had that whole support crew following them and shit, but they were usually like a few hundred miles away a lot of the time.
There's 3 of them though. What it is, there's 3 of them that are doing it. One of them's a camera guy.
Yeah.
I mean, there was points I think where there were days they didn't see the support vehicle, but
I mean,
I just feel like I've watched so many videos of dudes like getting a beater ass KLR and going around the world with maybe like some shit on the back, but nothing like that. Like,
I've seen some dudes like with fully rigged out like adventure bikes like that, like loaded down to the tits, fucking hit massive jumps and like skim whoops and shit. So like it's definitely a lot easily doable. Just those guys are horrible riders.
Yeah. When I was working at that dealership for a minute there was just like Saturday night, I remember there was all these people showing up and they had to like go to the service counter and like check in, and they were like all on crazy adventure bikes, all placed from around the world, not around America, like around the fucking world. Yeah, there were some American guys in there too, big loaded out, and they're just all in their adventure gear, you know, like high vis shit. It's all dirty as fuck. Like they've been really out riding, and they were some iron butt challenge, and it was kind of neat because they would get that. What it was is they checked in there, and then they stayed at the hotel across the street. And I think they all got new tires at our dealership while they were there. Like we were helping with it or something. And then what it is they don't know where they're going until the morning. And every day they get instructions. It's somewhere like, you know, it's not close. It's like, you know, 1,300 minimum miles away. And they have to get there by like dark or something, you know? And it's like some kind of challenge. It seems like something that only really rich people can do, to be honest. It's like you're off for months at a time in another country, brought your bike,
all rally type shit.
Yeah, like, but it's kind of neat talking to those dudes, you know, just chatting with them. And
it's plenty of rich dudes who do fucking gnarly shit, but they can afford to do it because they can afford the equipment, they can afford to get hurt.
I mean, almost all these dudes were on GS 1200s or similar bikes, you know, that, and
like
you look.
Any one of us, like if I go out like in these races and I break my fucking leg, like I'm fucked.
Yeah. I imagine these guys.
Like I can't break my leg. I can't do that. Like I need my leg to fucking work.
You need it to work. Yeah, I'm saying that these guys, though, I guarantee you, if to be able to afford what they do, they work a job where they can have a broken leg and it wouldn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like there's some kind of executive or some bullshit or you know, CEO or something. I don't know. But yeah, you got to think that bike plus all that equipment that's on it and everything they got going, they're 50, 60,000 in easily. Then on top of that, to take, you know, is it over a month long? This thing was, and to be in another country, that's big fucking money.
Well, but you know, European dudes, man, they get like a month off every year. They fucking do. They do
get a lot of, yeah. And I think they I don't think they have expenses like we do. I think their shit's
like
they're
they'll make
better off.
people take vacations over there. It's fucking crazy. Like I wish we had that attitude over here. Not that it'd matter for you, Jay, because you're self-employed, but
it doesn't matter. I still wish it was for people. I don't know. I fucking if we had the work whatever ethic or whatever of Europe and shit, all those places, I probably would I probably just would work a normal job because I don't know. Like I talked to guys like over there, like they came to the Husqvarna trip. I mean, even some of those guys have got, doing well through their channels and all their stuff. They're not like, why would they do it full time? It's like they get like 6-7 weeks a year off or something, like you were just saying, and great benefits and all this other shit. And then they don't have to work 40 hours a week. 40 hours a week is something we do. That's not a normal thing. That's something we're told is normal, but it's not. That's something that
they only have like 6-hour work days over there.
Yeah. They just,
That'll never happen over here. Like, and it's already too late for us.
Well, we're too far down the rabbit hole. Someone I was just talking to someone about today. Like I don't think there's any politician they could turn around and half the shit in this country. We're too far down the fucking rabbit hole, and we drag Canada with us. Sorry, Lee.
Yeah, not even disputing that.
No, it's always just like America light over there. Like you guys do what we do, but
just a little bit better.
Yeah. Some yes, some no.
Yeah, pretty much all of it.
You got to call people by their pronouns over there. You'll go to jail now.
You guys get that.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Like if I broke my leg, I'd be fucked. If you broke your leg, you'd be all right.
Oh, if I broke my leg, yeah, I'd be home again in like 3-4 hours and not really worry about anything.
Yeah, if I broke my leg, I'd have like a $60,000 bill.
Yeah, that doesn't happen here. So that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, on the one hand, I think we have really good health care. It's just way too expensive. And the system's too corrupt and fucky that I don't see it going any other way. And I think that's the problem when you have, like not only you have what's the word? God damn, what's it called when fucking politicians are lobbyists? You already have lobbyists, but on top of it, all these politicians got in the office are backed by all these fucking companies that don't have, it's not what the people want, it's what this company wants. They owe everybody a fucking favor. So it's just fucked. Like I said, it's too far down the rabbit hole. I don't think it's ever going to go the other way. You got Trump that actually is like, I'm self fucking whatever. I don't owe these people anything, but he's a lunatic. So that's not helping anything.
It's great. You can be self-employed in America, make a bunch of money, and fucking get your own insurance, do all this stuff. It's so awesome. But if you're just a regular fucking stiff, like
most people are though. That's what
we got harder than a lot of places, and it's just, and I guess that's the trade-off is that like if you're just a regular dude, it's hard, but everybody has the opportunity. Like a lot of people you can have the opportunity to make more, but it's such a small percentile that fucking achieves that.
I mean, you can all try, but be prepared to fucking fail, and it's more often than not you're going to. It's always easy for the person that got in there, and I mean, a lot of them are very hard workers, but good people. All right, just America, work real hard, you get whatever you want. Yeah, I mean, you still got to have some shit fall together for you in the right way. It's not just gonna happen to everyone.
Or you might be a fucking kind of an idiot, or like nothing will ever happen for you, no matter.
Yeah, like maybe you have all the effort in the world, but like you just make bad decisions. Well, hey, I mean that's the truth. We fucking act like that's not a thing, but it is.
Like there's plenty of people. There's plenty of failures out there. I know so many people who like started businesses and had them fail, and like even before they started, they tell you their idea, and they're like putting real money into it, and in your head you're just going like, "Well, this is dumb as fuck." You're a fucking idiot. I can't believe you're investing your life savings into this, you fucking moron. And then they fail, and it's not even like, "Oh, this would be wrong." It's like, no. Then they go out of business and lose all their money. That's what happens, idiot. Fuck.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I mean, anything though that's, I mean, you see this is a thing with a lot of people though in America, is because if you do get, let's say you get to that level where you've got a job that does, like you have your insurance through it, and they're paying you enough, and it's not great, and your insurance isn't great, but you're making some money. It's so, especially once you have a family, unless your family's on that insurance, it's such a commitment, even to go to another job, let alone like I'm going to start my own company, because you're giving up so much. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's just how our system's set up. You know, they want you to be locked in, and yeah, I mean, you know, you, Josh, to not work for somebody else, to be an owner of something is a rarity, you know. Most people aren't.
Everybody works for somebody. I don't care how much you own.
Well, yeah, sure. But you know what I'm saying? It's
all it does is freak me out, man. Because like I've done it for so many years, and it's just like everything's on the fucking bleeding edge all the fucking time.
you always think it's gonna get better later.
Like everything's fucking like we don't have any health.
I feel like all three of us can talk about that.
There's no health care, there's no benefits, there's no retirement. Like what's like, why do you think I try YouTube so hard? It's just like there's no like, what am I gonna do? Retire from the bar to what?
Yeah, I know. I'm in the same fucking boat. Like I've got no goddamn.
I don't think any of us have a
we got no backup plans. We're fucked unless something works.
I always think about it's like I need to make like $1 million.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. Yeah,
not even to like do something awesome. I just need to make $1 million to like.
You need to so you can live at some point, so you can get old enough and not end up fucked.
So one day I can like sell my house and live in a trailer and not
and have a meager existence for the rest. What the fuck?
And I'm just like, I'm not gonna do it. Like I'm just like, how much money? If I pull together all my resources, like I might have like a few $1,000s.
Yeah, this guy asked
more than that, but like you know what I mean. It's like if I look at all my money, it's like I have thousands of dollars.
I mean, we're all fucked with no backup plan. So I mean, if we all become drifters, we can like do it together. It'd be pretty fun.
Hey, I mean, look at this though. Look at this. Like, and you and me, Judd. I mean, like, I could see you've got some cool tools behind you. I got some cool. So I mean, at the end of the day, shit's fucked. But at least we got some cool shit, you know.
Yeah.
You could sell that if worst came to worst.
I have fun. Like I have a lot of fun.
Yeah. We make it. We some guy was asking me in the chat here. He said, Jake, why did you stop working? That's the dealership I worked at, Maxim. It just wasn't enough business in there it wasn't gonna. I don't know. It turns out there's not a lot of money in bikes, so it'd be nice to salespeople.
Yeah, there really isn't.
It's a pretty shitty business. And yeah.
Nomad 000 goes, I own my debt.
Well, that's good, dude. Somebody else owns mine, so you know.
Would you like to look at my assets? Look at how much debt I own. Oh man, if I keep laughing, I'm gonna start crying.
This has become very depressing. This
is taking a turn again.
Everybody who's watching this who's a teenager right now
doesn't understand. We're all just like trying to laugh off the sadness right now of what our lives are.
Oh man. You know, in season 2 of what's that show? The guy fucking Eastbound and Down when he goes to Mexico.
Yeah.
Sometimes that seems like a good idea.
I always look at that
really
like,
does.
I wish it was that easy. And like just like make my money off of fighting fucking roosters.
Dude, he had shit made down there. I mean, it wasn't great, but he had it going, you know? He had a little crew.
I always look at that and I'm just like, man, that's how I've always gotten by. Like I've always just like done something weird and made enough money to like pay rent. I don't know, and like have stuff. Like I have stuff. Like I have like some nice stuff. And I'm just like, I don't know. I just kind of fucking it just happened.
Man, how far are you from Atlanta?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
It's far as fuck. It's like 9 hours.
Okay.
Florida's long.
9 hours? That's it?
Oh yeah, well you live in like fucking pig knuckle goddamn Canada.
Let me see
like
how far I am.
Hours away from everything.
I can't be 9. You say 9 hours or 5 hours?
9 hours.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's like 6 hours to get out of the state.
Let me see. Let me see how far I am here.
Man.
My phone literally has to calculate this right now.
Are you down in the Panhandle or in the Pan? Are you down in the peninsula a bit?
Let me look at it. Maybe I'm exaggerating.
Because I thought you were kind of in the upper part of Florida.
Central Florida.
All right, I am 24 hours.
From where, Atlanta? Why are you looking?
I don't know. You asked him, so I'm going to see how far I am.
Well, I got to go there next. I'm only going to be there for like a day and a half, but I got to be. For some reason, in my head, I was thinking you were like
6.5 hours.
Okay. For some reason, in my head, I was thinking like maybe you're like only 2 hours away. You can come up and, or I could go down there. I don't know.
2 hours I would come up, but it's not. It's a whole fucking day. Fucking day's worth of driving.
That's too much.
I can't pop up to Atlanta, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Just pop up.
Stupid.
Fucking stupid long, dude. Like even when
Canada's big, but it's cold.
When Sub D was
yeah, Canada's way bigger than the U.S. It's huge.
But the top half is like a freezer, you know, like in the refrigerator. It's just
like half your country doesn't even count.
Yeah,
dude. Lots of people live up there. Lots.
Well,
you'd be surprised.
I know. I've watched documentaries on them. It's bizarre to me.
I think I think it's like the opposite of lots, though. I think it's like hundreds.
Like where it's like it's actually like illegal to lock doors up there so that you can escape from polar bears. That's the real thing. That's not bullshit.
You see what? Wait, where are you? You're in what's it called, right, Lee? You're in
Manitoba. I'm in like the very southern.
What's the bigger than that? Where are you from? Winnipeg, right?
Oh, the city. Like, are you talking the province?
What was the thing I made you watch that one time where the guy was like, if you're where you're from, just nod your head to them or something because it's so cold or some shit.
You fucking nod your head to them like a war veteran or some shit.
Gavin, he's a funny dude.
That's funny as hell. And it's pretty. That thing was pretty fucking spot on.
We're just talking about Americans. They say, "I'm gonna move to Canada." He's like, "No, you're not." And he breaks it down step by step. There's nowhere to live except for that one city, and it's too expensive, and they don't need you because there's already enough rich people living there.
That's the assumption of all Americans. There's like Vancouver and Toronto, and that's it. That's Canada.
Oh, I love all the names of everything in Canada. It's all like Winnipeg, Saskatchewan, fucking. It's all like it reminds me
Winterfell.
It reminds me of all the names of stuff.
Winterfell.
Lee, if we keep going up, is there a wall?
There probably is. You start getting up into the fucking Northwest Territories. Guaranteed, there's an ice wall of some kind up there. The whole fucking area is ice.
Everything in Florida's got weird ass names too. So it's all Indian names, like it's all like Okie Finoki, Okeechobee, Waimama, like everything's got like weird Indian names down here. Like it's the same thing in Canada. All their cities are like Indian names.
A lot of things around here have Mexican names because Mexico owned this bitch at one point. French, I think the French owned Texas at one point. A lot of people owned it. Tim was here; he'd still know. I think the Spaniards owned it.
Tim could check his Google.
It kind of got hoarded around until a bunch of rednecks were like, "Damn it, we've had enough," and then they took it over. And then the Mexicans wanted it back, and they're like, "Hey, America, will you help us?" And they're like, "All right, you got to be a part of America, though." And they're like, "Fuck it." That's the story of Texas.
One dude was born in Inuvik in Northwest Territories in the chat. That's some North shit right there. That's ice wall territory. That's yeah.
Is it beyond the wall?
That is beyond.
Is he a wildling?
He's a fucking wildling. That's fucking. That is straight up beyond the wall.
Oh, that wildling chick was cute.
Natcha Ochis. I don't know why you want me to say that. It's weird to say Natcha Ochis. Okie Finoki. Just waiting for I just want to I want to drive up to the Florida Georgia line just so I can look at a camera and go, everything's okie dokie in the Okie Finoki.
Shadetree's down there in fucking King's Landing. It's all warm.
Oh, we should totally map out North America as if it was fucking.
I feel like well, I know they're not big enough, but I feel like it's like the Bahamas or Cuba or something is like where all the fucking Dothraki and shit.
Dothraki and shit. The other fuckers, whatever they were, the Dornish or whatever.
Yeah, they're out there in like the Virgin Islands or something.
Yeah. The guy that got his fucking head crushed by the mountain, wherever the fuck he was from. I think he was
Oh,
from
that was
Doin.
so great.
Him and his fucking weird
That
sister
fucking
wife
scene.
thing.
Sorry, I gotta that scene alone. We gotta just power watch that show, and when that scene came up, when that dude's head got crushed, and that moment fucking catches you off guard, and my wife fucking was like, ah! Like covered her face, and I quickly grabbed the remote to rewind it and watch it again. I don't know why. I watched it like 4 or 5 times, and she's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" I was like, "This is crazy." Just blew his head open. And he goes, "I blow his head up like this." It's like, yes.
What fucked me up worse than watching his head was watching his teeth get knocked out. Teeth bothered me, man. That was fucking way worse.
I think
I still have like
everyone had told me there was so much violence in that show that up until that point I was kind of like so that I think I was like kind of I needed that, you know, like to satisfy.
Yeah, you're like you're for real, because then you're like, man, this show's still got teeth. Like,
Yeah. Like even
Viking
gets kind of brutal at times.
I still fucking have to get back into that one. I watched like one season and just gave up on it. I gotta start over.
I don't know. I guess there's a new season that's playing right now, but what's his name died in the last one, so I don't.
Yeah, I saw that all over social media, so that fucking spoiled it.
Well, you fucking history. He's gonna die, and he even dies.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's real life history.
It's actually pretty gangster how it fucking all goes down.
You fucking get like tossed in like a pit of snakes or some shit.
Yeah, but he orchestrates it. Like he knows what's happening. He knows he's gonna fucking die. He wants to die. His life is fucked, and it's just a cool way he does it.
all right, guys, I gotta roll out. I'm fucking falling asleep.
The Red Wedding was fucking brutal. I guess so.
I was just so into Game of Thrones right now that like we just ignore Josh entirely.
Sorry, I thought it was very predictable. I had a feeling that was going to happen, so I didn't.
I'll tell you, man, I love reading the books. Like I love watching the show, but you know what was really good and
Harry Potter.
Watch or look at it because it's expensive to do it. Was they did an entire graphic novel that's completely true to the books, and it's really fucking good.
I had no idea that existed.
Yeah, the graphic novel adaptation of the books is fucking amazing. But I don't know. I like comic books. So
Remember Battletoads? Sorry. I'm just
Later. Bye. Jesus. Yes, I remember Battletoads, hardest game ever.
I know we talked about this a few weeks ago. I'm just trying to fucking sidetrack you.
I like Double Dragon better. Although I like Double Dragon 3 the best. That was my favorite one.
So are we
Fucking
going off
Contra.
What are we doing?
Contra was the best.
Contra was a fucking jam. My jam, God.
Everyone say goodbye.
Dude, I fucking used to go up to the goddamn convenience store. They had a Contra arcade machine there and fucking play that shit every fucking day.
Oh, he said, well, love you too. All right, we're going to put user in timeout.
It's that time where Jake starts timing out the entire chat.
Oh, here we go. Oh, it's happening.
You fucking cock.
It shouldn't be funny, but it is.
Every
The
time.
man's in here. All right, man. See you later.
Later, guys.
Man, gone. It's done.
Oh, he just peaced out. Oh, we're still live for 5 minutes. You got 5 minutes of fucking timing people.
We can get him out of here. We can get him all. You can help me with this
get the whole
solo
chat.
mission.
I guess I'll get up in this.
Oh, Jake, crazy. Oh man. Can anybody comment anymore?
No one can even say anything anymore.
Look up and just start trolling.
Instant chat death. Can I? Oh, you're fucking. I was gonna time you up, but you got a wrench too.
Oh, yeah, you gotta time me up.
Damn it. Fuck.
What could I put in there?
Oh shit. Oh, there you go. Oh god, it's just a wall of message deleted by Jake the Garden Snake on my computer.
Way up in there right now.
Oh fuck, that's awesome.
Oh,
that's so funny.
Sneeze. You got to make that rotary into some kind of something. It has to be into something that's motorized that you ride one way or another.
If you get that thing running, it's going to be in something like totally fucking dumb.
I'm worried it doesn't actually make shit for power, but it doesn't matter.
like one of those like old school gas powered scooters, like not like scooter, but like like the Razor scooter style.
The this guy wants you to put the motor in the 636. I mean, if you had to, even if you got into something like a little taco bike, like you can build that where your center of gravity, like the fucking back wheel, is so under your ass that you can wheelie that thing.
Well, I was thinking like one of those like push scooter type of deals, like a Razor scooter, because like how they used to do it, like those GoPeds. Remember those?
Yeah. Those are you really can't wheelie one of those. That'd be fucking really weird.
And like there was no drive system to them at all. That was
where you would start running to get them going.
Well, right? And there was literally nothing attaching the fucking rear wheel to the engine, like to make it drive. All there was a fucking like laid down BMX peg fucking coming off the main shaft.
It would spin.
That you would like adjust it down to like tight against the tire to fucking spin the tire.
I can remember on some of those, were like, because it was like always connected. So like you'd have to start running, like you'd have to push it to get it started, but it would actually be turning the motor over. It wasn't like you had some clutch or some way to disable it the speed.
I was like, fuck, I could make that in like 10 minutes.
That would totally if it was work. Something like that for sure. You know what you could do, even if it's top shaft style, you can make it so if it's got a big sidewall, it just runs up against the sidewall. It would totally work. Fuck yeah, dude. I think it'd be awesome. But you know what I'm saying? If you build a taco bike with it, there's such a narrow wheelbase. I didn't care if it makes like almost no power. You should be able to just lean back and get it up there. It's just gonna be it's gonna be it's gonna be a sketchy fucking ride. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I was looking at these. I got to get my kid a push, like those push bikes you use to kind of train them, right?
Oh, this guy didn't say fucking hi to me. Oh. Never mind, you got him first.
You talk about what am I saying? Is it push bike or like the little kid bikes that they can start the kids on now with no motor? You just it's a balance bike is what you call it.
Oh yeah, like Striders and shit. Balance bike.
Yeah. So I got to get on one of those first, but I kept seeing these ones that pop up. Have you seen these electric versions of those now?
No.
They're really quick. They're not fucking around. Like these little kids on them. They're like 4 years old. And they're like setting up the little tracks. And he said hi to you, Lee. I'll let you ban him.
Yeah. He's my only fan in this chat. I'm going to let him hang out.
Oh, well, fuck this guy.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, but no, you gotta look it up, man, because they're getting their little little skateboard ramps out, and you're getting big air with these little things.
That's fucking awesome.
There's little lithium motors in them and stuff.
Smashing their little nut sacks on the seat because there's nothing to stand on.
Yeah, but whatever, they're kids, they can take it. I got a little girl, it doesn't matter. I just want to get her. I need to get her on one of those. I was thinking about maybe for Christmas trying to get her one of those little Strider style bikes or whatever. And
Are we even still alive?